Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we am I? Our game is not logical, but you contemplate, are we am I? I think it's sane, I think it's logical. What I don't you find? Are we am I? As time goes by, I'll be a slip away. Should I do you mind? Are we am I? I'm fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. This is a way that I still play. Tell me why you lied to me. Fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. Fighting for love. Raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love. Raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love. Raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love. Raise me up and see my
Back! Woo! And listen, we're sharing time tonight with a very important Blue Jays game. I'm excited about this. Jesse and I are live on the SDPN channel tonight, so you can flip over and flip between. Maybe you have a couple of streams going. I don't know. Do you have an iPad and a computer and a phone? You could have all that stuff happening. I am sort of grateful after yesterday that I'm doing this today because I think watching a bullpen game in Yankee Stadium, with the Blue Jays potentially being able to eliminate the Yankees but giving up a 6-1 lead yesterday, I feel like I got the better end of this bargain because I get to watch the Toronto Maple Leafs. And let's there's a little bit of pride in game 82, or sorry, game one of 82. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a lot more relaxing than last night was, and perhaps shorter too. That was a long stream Jesse did, and if you were there for it, thanks for hanging out. I think it was almost 4 hours, but 26,000 people tuned in, which was flipping bonkers. So that was excellent. Hey, I just want to say I'm also really glad that the game is in Toronto tonight because that means that we don't get the 45-minute Montreal Canadiens ceremony to start the game. Listen, I understand you and love you, Montreal, but it's too long. It's too long. I'm from the TikTok generation now. Me, 37-year-old dad, Adam, is the TikTok generation, and I don't have the patience for that. Okay? All right. Now listen, I hope you guys had a killer summer. I hope you guys had a um I hope you had a fun start to September. Maybe some of you went back to school. Maybe some of you had kids that went back to school. My kid did. She started grade 1. How about that, huh? I already have a kid in grade 1. It's what happens when you have a kid so young. Anyway, I'm just been waiting for this moment. I can actually remember the last stream that we did before the Stanley Cup Finals, and I remember saying to Hayden and I'm saying to you guys who stuck around for that series, just like I was sad because we had done this all year. We did it all winter long. We did it every other night in the spring, right up until the Stanley Cup Finals, when obviously Steve takes over. And I got to tell you, man, it's so good to be back. I've been looking forward to this because that last show, you go, oh, it's gonna be a while for a while. Like for this, it's gonna be a while, and I'm not gonna be back hanging with my friends. So Gripper Nation, I'm so pumped to be here. Now, there's a few things that we got to go through because there were some signings today. And if you haven't seen them yet, the videos are up. Eichel, Kyle Connor, and Matthias Ekholm all extended today. Edmonton is basically doing the Panthers model where they're going to just extend everybody. And I don't know, for the next 5 to 8 years, we're going to get Panthers and Oilers in the finals, and that's it. That's all. Now, they're just bringing out, I'm watching on the Sportsnet app, by the way, so I might be a little delayed if you're watching from direct cable at home. But I'm looking at they've got the coaching staff out there. Should mention that the Leafs just announced at 3:55 this afternoon some additions to their hockey operations department. Steven Reinprecht and Eric Lacroix. Reinprecht was a big Colorado Avalanche player and Calgary Flame. Eric Lacroix, I think, was kind of the same. I know he played and won with the Colorado Avalanche, and his dad, Pierre Lacroix, was the architect of the 1996 run to the Stanley Cup Finals over the Florida Panthers for the Colorado Avalanche. They've joined the organization as pro scouts. Michael Kotkaniemi, I would imagine is Jesperi Kotkaniemi's dad, has joined the organization as a European amateur scout. Sometimes people say amateur. Sometimes people say amateur. What is the correct pronunciation? I feel like the people that say amateur are the amateurs, and that's what I am. Like I'm the one that says that. The people that say amateur, I'm like, you know what area of the world your wine's coming from. Hayden's asking me to lift my seat up. Okay, how's that? How's that? Is that better? Am I on Hayden? Is that good? I was covered by the lower third. Okay. And then Mark Giordano. Have you heard of him? He's joining the Toronto Marlies as a coaching advisor. Although we've seen that, we know that, and they are bringing out the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. Oh, look at that! They got the leaf. It's kind of like the shark, but it's a leaf, and they're going to skate out under it. One thing I have noticed about the Leafs this summer is the second Shanahan left and Keith Pelly really and truly took over as president and CEO. Their social media actually has a personality, which is nice. There's Simon Benoit coming out first, which is nice because it was so robotic before. There's Chris Tanev, and I think they're going to be trying to put on a little bit more of a show, a little more razzle dazzle. This is Toronto, after all, one of the homes of hockey. There's Max Domi. Now we're going to go through the lines in a little bit here, but we're going to kind of watch the players come out. There's Steven Lorentz. I don't know if you guys saw it today on the Maple Leafs TikTok account. I told you I'm a TikTok guy. They have a Steven Lorentz core video, and it's just the highlights of his best moments on social media. Seems like just the best guy. Seems like the best guy. Leadoff double for George Springer at Yankee Stadium right now. That's fabulous news. And remember, Jesse is live streaming that game too. So if you'd like, listen, it's not that this game doesn't matter, but if you want to feel like you're dying for 9 innings, Jesse is absolutely the guy to be tuning into tonight. We are a true sports network doing multiple sports at once. I feel so proud. There's Brandon Carlo. And it's, I'm curious about some of these guys with a full training camp, what they're going to look like with the Leafs. Like I remember when Jake McCabe showed up in 2023, he had a really good playoffs. They got to the second round, but he wasn't, you could tell it didn't quite fit the system. The next year, it was like to the moon. He was awesome. Anthony Stolarz just got on the ice. And so I'm looking at guys like apparently Scott Lawton had a crazy good camp. I'm assuming that he broke his foot. They don't want to talk about that, but I'm assuming he broke some bone in his foot, um, or a deep, deep bone bruise. These guys are new guys. They're going to start from camp, but I'm looking at guys like Lawton and um, who was the other guy they brought in, Brandon Carlo, and going, how are they going to fit in now that they've kind of started the season with this group? So I'm curious about it. Bobby McMahon's going to be taking on, he just got on the ice, he's going to be taking on a pretty good role. Matthias Michelli playing with Austin Matthews tonight. Not bad for a guy who was scratched like 30 times last year. Dakota Joshua is a guy I'm really excited about. Sedin Magic 15, I saw your clip in there, buddy. So nice to have you back for season 3. And Sedin Magic 15 might be a Canucks fan, but he's always in for these streams. And I remember that year, the team I followed was the Vancouver Canucks until the second round when they almost eliminated the Edmonton Oilers. And the guy who was my favorite player in that series was Dakota Joshua. So I'm pumped to have him on the Leafs. It's gonna be cool. Also, really interestingly, I don't know if you heard this stat. The Leafs are the heaviest team in the NHL. They're just a bunch of fatties. No, they're not. It's all muscle. But the average weight of a Toronto Maple Leaf this year is 210 pounds. And by the way, the Blue Jays have already scored a run. Hell yeah, baby! Way to go, Vladdy. I love you. Also, beef Leafs. There's Johnny Tavares. And for the first time in 10 years, we will get an Austin Matthews and a William Nylander, but we will not get a Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner said, girl, I'm out. And we were like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. What are you going to run? Yeah, let's run through the lineup, shall we? We're going to start with Montreal. Hayden, can we do that? Yes? Yes, we can. We're going to start with Montreal's lineup tonight. This is a improved, but not quite to the level that I would want it to be. I love Montreal's wings. I don't love their centers beyond Nick Suzuki. So we got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky. Why mess with a good thing? They were good in the playoffs last year. That was lots of fun. I did that series. Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov. So they got Newhook and they got Kirby Doc, and they were hoping one of them would be a second-line center, and neither of them are. Nothing against Oliver Kapanen, but I don't think he's your long-term play. Zach Bolduc, Kirby Doc, and Brendan Gallagher at on the third line. So that's a little bit of Bolduc is sick, man. That was a great trade by Kent Hughes this offseason. I absolutely loved it. Jettisoned Logan Mailloux, who I don't think was going to be a fan favorite, and was able to get just a dog in Zach Bolduc, who's young and just mean and big, and he's going to score a sizable amount. And then on the fourth line, and I love this, I love that teams are getting away from fourth line needs to be grinding, because the Leafs even don't do this. Patrick Laine, Jake Evans, and Josh Anderson. So there's some grind on that. There's some veteran on that. There's some scoring punch on that. And that has got to be the most expensive fourth line in the league. I think it's $22.5 million on that fourth line. I think my math is right on that. And if it isn't, it's in that range. Well, maybe I'm wrong on that, but whatever. It's expensive. Okay, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Maybe more like 17 million. I don't know what Jake Evans makes anymore. Anyway, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. To everybody just donating subscriptions, God, I love you. Thank you. That is incredible. Wes Richard, Wes Daddy, he's back. Let's go. And I'm going to try to get to some of the comments. Sedin Magic 15. Hey, Adam, you ready for another great year of hockey, buddy? You betcha, partner. I'm so excited. Life Olmstead. Hey, there's another Gripper Nation member. Adam, did this game so he could avoid calling the birds. That's right. I don't like talking about birds. Hi, Justin and Hayden. Also, Adam. Hey, by the way, Justin is doing this game. Robert is doing Jesse's game on the chat, just in case you're looking out for that. SLS, Adam, great to see you on the stream again. Here's to clogged toilets and lots of grippers. That's right, SLS. And by the way, I've already taken my socks off. We got to let those grippers breathe. I'm not even kidding. My socks are off. It's a little hot in here. Our AC's out. Player 4. When are you guys going to face reality? Hockey is back. Woo! Hell yeah. Thank you, player 4. And then, okay, good. I think I got everybody's super chats. I just want to make sure I get to everybody. Occasionally I miss them and people get upset. Oh, Michael Roberts, go Toronto. Gotta buy my cousin's new sweater, number 53. Oh my God. That's got to be pretty darn cool. Now let's move to the Toronto Maple Leafs line, if we could. Hayden, let's throw that up on the screen. So, Toronto Maple Leafs. This is an interesting first line. What are they going to do without Marner? They kept asking us all season. Well, it seems like they're going to do Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews because duh. And it was going to be Max Domi, but when Scott Laughton went down, they needed center help deeper in the lineup. Berube wanted to put something else together. So Matthias Michelli, who they were trying to ease into the Leafs lineup, is now just going to start at right wing. I'm excited. This guy, like when he was at his best, he was playing, I think, with Lawson Krause and Nick Bukestad and had like 50 something points. He's got vision. He's got the ability to pass. I want to know. If he can hack in a role like this. You know, it was a bad year in Utah last year for him. I want to know. I think it's an interesting bet by the Leafs. He's making $3.4 million. He's expired at the end of this year in terms of contract. And so, you know, it's a bet. You try. Bobby McMahon, John Tavares, and William Nylander. We've seen this line before. One thing I do want to say is I need from Bobby McMahon this year. He has always surprised people with his speed. I think people will probably catch on to that eventually. Like it's been a couple years. I think we know. What I want to see him use is his body. This guy's a big boy, and I want to see him bang and crash a little bit more, make defensemen scared to turn their back. And maybe we can get William Nylander over 50 goals this year because he had 45 last year. On the third line, I think this guy's going to be a fan favorite. Dakota Joshua joining Max Domi and Nick Robertson. Domi and Robertson, the reason they're playing together tonight is they had some really good chemistry last year. They were able to find each other. Leafs need some scoring pop lower in the lineup. You can look at that as the third line or the fourth line. It's listed as the third. But you got those two guys who are smaller-ish. And I'm saying small graded on a curve. The Leafs are huge. Joshua is enormous. So Domi, Robertson, along with Dakota Joshua banging and crashing, I kind of like that. And then on the fourth line, here's what they're going to try to do to shut you down. Lorentz, Waugh, and Yarncroke. And what's interesting about this line is Lorentz and Yarncroke at their best, you know, career averages. Calle Yarncroke was very injured last year. They're like good for 15 goals each. So we're talking about a more spread out lineup. Sometimes that works great. You know, the best teams like Florida, like Vegas when they won, like Tampa before, have scoring up and down the lineup and toughness, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes, though, it doesn't. Sometimes those people go cold. And so you're going to need Austin back over 50 goals. You're going to need William Nylander in and around 50 goals. You're going to need John Tavares to put up 30 to 35. You're going to need Bobby to put 20 in. You're going to need Matthew Nyes to put 20 to 25 in. But I'm looking for guys like Nick Waugh to put 15 in, Calle Yarncroke to put, give me 10, Calle. Nicholas Robertson, who might not have been in the lineup, was it not for Scott Laughton's injury? Nick Robertson, this is the year we need him to get to 20 goals. And he's going to have limited minutes, and he's going to have a limited role, but they're going to shelter him offensively. If he gets into 50 or 60 games, you want him at least 15 goals. If he's getting into more games than that, baby, give me 20, man. Give me 20 from Nicky Bobby. Let's get to Montreal's defense because I forgot that we had that. Let's do that. Let's do Montreal's defense. This is a much bolstered Montreal defense this year. Man, Mike Matheson and Noah Dobson. That's a first pair. Montreal, it's been a while since you had one of those. Shea Weber retired and you didn't have one anymore. There it is. Second one is just the all young guys that are going to haunt the Leafs forever. Caden Gooley and Lane Hudson. By the way, it was reported today that Lane Hudson's negotiations are really not going well, and his agent, Richard Coffey, is now off the case as they take a timeout. And then, of course, we got Arbor Xhekaj and Alex Carrier. Now, on the Leaf side, we're going to move quickly here, Hayden. Morgan Rielly, Brandon Carlo is your top pair. Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev, who I guess would be your other top pair. I don't know who you'd have listed higher than the other. And then Ekman Larson, Benoit. They're asking Benoit to play a little bit more of the. They're going to put Benoit on the right side, Oliver Ekman and Larson on the left side. I think they were trying to get Benny on the left side a little bit more, but I'm kind of excited about this. I think it's going to be an exciting year. This is a lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs that is so different than what we saw, say, even 2 years ago when Brad took over and you had like Bertuzzi and John Klingberg, you remember, Ryan Reeves, whatever. It seems a lot more balanced. It seems a lot bigger. It seems a lot more like what Brad wants out of his team. And so I'm excited for that. It's going to be cool. And by the way, Hayden wants me to point this out. Producer Hayden, by the way, big shout out to producer. We have a score bug. We have a clock. But I obviously am a little bit after the clock because I'm on the Sportsnet app and it's a minute late. But puck is dropped, and we are off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we're not too far out of date with each other. But the clock will be a little bit ahead of me, and that's A-okay. That's just the way she goes. Toronto Maple Leafs win. I don't know who you'd say won that, but Michelli, his first real season action in behind the net with Austin Matthews. McCabe's going to get a shot. First shot of the season goes to Jake McCabe. Wouldn't have called it. You should be able to bet that, by the way. Who gets the first shot of the season? It's always somebody weird. Quick change. William Nylander line out with McMahon and Tavares. Nylander gives it away at the blue line. Riley and Carlo out there with them. There's Bobby McCann, who's going to use his speed through that neutral zone to William Nylander, to Morgan Riley with a shot. And the Leafs' first two shots come from defensemen. Now, something that might be at play here, and I think this is worth mentioning, is the Leafs need more goal scoring from their defense. Like, we talk about depth scoring from their forwards. They got like next to nothing from their defense in the regular season last year. In the playoffs, OEL, Simon Benoit, Morgan Riley all had good contributions at critical times, but it's not something that was a regular feature of the regular season, and it's been an issue dating back probably 2 or 3 years now. So it'll be interesting to see how many goals they get. I'd like to see Morgan get over 10 goals this year. I want him to have a renaissance year because we know what we got a goal! William Nylander, first goal of the season on Sam Montembeault. And by the way, that's already more goals than the Leafs scored on Sam Montembeault last season when we started off. How about that, huh? Beauty. Great play. We're going to have a look at this in just a second. Is it Bobby that scored or was it Willie? Did I screw that up? Tavares wins the draw. Great play. It's tipped in by Bobby. Bobby McMahon. Nice tip. Willie with a nice little kind of pass there. I don't even know if Willie meant for Bobby to touch that. It's in the air. And Bobby kind of, you can see only on the replay, I can only see Brandon Carlo's butt, but it looks like it was like mid-air and he was able to give it a tap. Leafs have a goal already. We're a minute into this game and Montreal does not have a shot. Literally. Does not have a shot. Do we have any Habs fans in the chat tonight? Any Habs fans here? Any Habs fans? Did somebody call Michael Roberts B-Money? That is a great name. B-Money, Bobby McMahon. Kind of works, doesn't it? By the way, I'm just giving Jesse a little bit of a shout out. He bought this for me for Christmas when we were at Virgin Radio in 2019. And I've kept it. And it survived being at a radio station, which is rare. So I've now brought it to SDPN. And I love this mug. And I love that man. And he is streaming. If you want stress in your life, the Blue Jays game is also on. So, and we also have the score bug up for that. Vladdy drove home, I believe it was George Springer, and we have an RBI. So let's face reality. I see a lot of face reality in the chat tonight. I'm ready to face reality. Hayden's telling me that my desk is wobbly. So there's not much I can do about that tonight, but I will sort that out. I'll get those, those things you put under the legs and straighten this table out. I'll be honest with you. This table, you know how certain IKEA tables are good and certain IKEA tables are not? Well, imagine it's like an IKEA table, but it's worse. That's the table I'm on right now. Let's be honest. I want to get one of those. I want to be a fancy man one day, and I want to get a big oak desk for no reason at all. Do I do any work on the desk? No, I really just kind of I can put my laptop anywhere, but I want a big oak desk, and I'll put a screen on it, and I'll be streaming, and I'll be like, guys, I'm behind my gigantic oak desk, and it smells like leather-bound books in here. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Time on the clock for me, Hayden, is 18:15. Hayden is now in line with me. Thank you, Hayden. Now, it's worth remembering that we are a little delayed. So if you're watching on cable directly, you're gonna get the news before we do. But you can watch us in real time react to it. Tavares loses the face-off draw, 18-13. This is the second shift for the Tavares Nylander line. I still don't think we've seen Domi, Joshua, Robertson just yet. They're going to get mostly offensive zone starts. We did see Nicholas Waugh get out there with Steven Lorentz and Calle Yarncroke. I'm getting used to these new lines. There's a lot of changes, guys. The Leafs were 34-8-2 when they scored first last season, which is good. And Anthony Stolarz, it's so nice to have him back. I'm curious to see. Obviously, Joe Woll's going to be gone for a while. Is this the season we see Anthony Stolarz do 45, 50 games? Because this is the opportunity now. You've signed the extension. We all want you to do it. And I think if he is playing more games, big save on the Slafkovsky redirect there. That was a nice play by Mike Matheson. Stolly's numbers the last couple of years have been really, really good. Like his underlying numbers are sparkling, but even if you look at like base numbers, like save percentage or whatever, it's one of the best goalies in the league when he's playing. If you can get him over 30 starts a year. And so if we can get him up to 40 starts even, that would be enormous. If he gets into 45, 50 games territory and he has numbers somewhat, there is a penalty. Slafkovsky's going to the box for sure. No? What? He just pulled him down. Are you serious? It's not even the playoffs. You can do that in the playoffs. You can't do that in the regular season. Anyway, if he can play upwards of 50 games, there's going to be Vezina votes in his future. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Anthony Stolar's numbers are crazy good. When you play more games, chances are you're a little more tired and a few more goals go in. It's the elite of the elite. Your Connor Hellebucks, your Jake Ottingers. I think Lucas Dostal's going to get there. I think Montembeau's going to get there. I think Joey Decord in Seattle's going to get there because he has to, because they can't play anybody else. You get up into those areas and you're still putting up 922, 923 save percentages. You're getting Vezina votes. It might not be first place, but you're getting Vezina votes. So I'm hoping for that for him this year. Obviously, you hope everything goes right. Simon Benoit attacked at the line there. That was a really smart play by the Montreal forwards. Ivan Demidov, who I have in my hockey fantasy pool, I'm hoping for a big season from him after this game. Would prefer he didn't have a big game starting tonight. It's going to be a pretty exciting season for him. A lot of people have him pegged as the early Calder candidate, kind of like they did with Mitchkov last year. I don't think a lot of people had Lane Hudson as a Calder candidate, but look what happened. I also have my eyes on, if you're betting this or if you're picking up people in fantasy, I'm going to give you two names. Because last year I had Mitchkov and I had Celebrini. I didn't have Hudson. So I had 2 and 3 in the Calder race. Michael Misa and Ryan Leonard. Give Ryan Leonard a shot in Washington. Just stash him for a month. See what happens. I think that's going to be, as much as I'm not as high on the Capitals as they finished last year, I'm not sure that they're going to have the same year this year. I got to tell you, I think Ryan Leonard is pretty awesome. Oh, here we go. Robertson, Domi, Joshua. Robertson with the shot. Little high. I think he was trying to go between the legs there, 5-hole, but it's just a little bit too on the Habitant logo. Sedin Magic 15, refs picking up right where they left off. Yeah, and it's not even Florida. How about that? Josh Laboucan is here. Canucks fan here. You guys are going to love Joshua. I hope he scores 20+. He is so fun to watch. Thanks for everything. Adam loves the shows. Thank you, Josh. I hope I pronounced your name properly. I probably didn't. I think it's Laboucan. Laboucan. Anyway, buddy, with a name like that, I'm sure you get many pronunciations and all of them wrong. But thanks for tuning in. And by the way, I love that people from other teams are here just hanging out. That is the kind of stuff that we want. It is opening night. We're not even 5 minutes in. How much fun is this? Brandon Carlo with the stop. Zach Bolduc on him. Max Domi to Nick Robertson. Yep, they find each other. Robertson to Riley. Riley unable to get a good shot off, but a really nice play there. This is the kind of depth scoring thing that Craig Berube is going to be looking for. If he's going to put Domi at center with Robertson, he's going to want to see that there are scoring chances created and that you have quick zone exits like you just saw there. Robertson, really smart play. Defenseman gets it up to him. He brings it to center, dumps it in, changes. And you're like, yeah, Adam, that's a normal hockey play. Listen, Nick Robertson, there is no doubt what he can do on the offensive side of the puck. It's those little details that are going to keep him in the lineup. And he said it actually a couple days ago. He's like, I know the drill. It's a game by game basis. And if he keeps playing well, oh, there we go. Penalty called. Oh, somebody just tried to, Josh Anderson almost took a run at Chris Tanev there. His head was down. And Laine, I believe, is the one going to the box with the hook on Tanev. Nicholas Waugh in there going after Patrick Laine. Laine looking upset about it. By the way, it's so interesting. I'm pretty sure Patrick Laine has a tinted visor, and those are illegal because I remember Patrick Waugh or Marty Brodeur? Whatever. I think it was Marty Brodeur turned up the sock and didn't allow Ovechkin to wear it because he couldn't see his eyes, which that sucks. But there's like a little bit of a. It was whiny Brodeur. Yeah. Brodeur, Hall of Famer, all-star, like unbelievable, like Mount Rushmore guy. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. And he got the grease. Anyway, Laine has a slight tint to his visor. It's probably legal. Oh, here comes Josh Anderson, who is literally Wayne Gretzky against the Leafs. It's so friggin' annoying. Stolarz with a good little play there. Josh Anderson, for whatever reason, is so good against the Leafs and basically disappears against a lot of other teams. But when it's the Leafs, he's like, you know what? I'm going to show you why I'm Josh Anderson, the guy. This is who I am. Who you thought I was, but only against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Habs fans, you can back me up on that. He's a monster. Okay, Nylander up. This is a first look at the power play. It's a giveaway to Oliver Kapanen. Riley racing back, and that's a goal. That is friggin' embarrassing. That is embarrassing for all involved. Stolarz needs to have that. Leafs power play, you need to not give the puck up at the blue line. That's bad. Oliver Kapanen, guys. It's his first career goal. No, and no disrespect to Oliver Kapanen. He's going to be a good NHLer. But that is a shit pass to Matthews. What are we doing? That's, you know what? It's first game of the season, and it's William Nylander, so you forgive him because you know that normally he hits that pass. Nobody covering. Just yucky. Yucky all around. You want Stoli to have that. I'm not going to lie. He saw him the whole way. Sneaky little shot. Listen, if I remember what I said about Kapanen before the game, if he's ready to be their 2C, they've been looking for that guy for like 4 years. Here comes Michelli. Shot. Montembeault with the save off a Domi shot. Mr. Craig Berube has been asking Max Domi to shoot more. And Max has a good shot. So he said, you know, hey, how about you shoot more, Max? How about you use that shot? Anyway. Richard Triafino, he didn't do the Marner spin, did he? No, he did not do the Marner spin. Listen, the reality of the situation is that the Leafs power play is going to have some kinks to work out, and there's already people crying about missing Mitch Marner in the chat, and I get it. I don't mean crying in like a rude way. I just mean it like, listen, we forget that Morgan Riley ran this power play like 3 years ago and had 72 points, or was that even four seasons ago? I don't know, but he's done this before, and I have not been, and I was not last year, the biggest Morgan Riley fan. I thought he had a bad season. I thought he was making weird decisions. But I root for Morgan Riley because A, he's a great guy, and B, he's a Toronto Maple Leaf, and there's another friggin' giveaway. Oh my God, and they almost scored the exact same way blocker side, but Stoli got a hold of that one. Power play is looking a little slippery. Now, something to keep in mind too, and I have to keep this in mind. The Leafs power play sucked to start last year. It was garbage. I think for the first 2.5 months. And it was sort of like, okay, so like, what does Mark Savard actually do here? He's the guy that runs the power play. And then right around December, it started to heat up, and I didn't believe it. And Jesse one day on the show was like, Adam, listen, and this is like mid-January. He's like, for the last 4 weeks, it's been like the hottest power play in the NHL. Where have you been? And from then on out, it was pretty good. So you don't want it to. Oh my God, that's another terrible giveaway and a good save by Anthony Stollers. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to wait 2.5 months to get good, but there might be some growing pains. Pretty clear. Now, I want to, as we go to commercial here, Robert Bett says, if things fall into place and Toronto gets McDavid, who's your first line center, Matthews or McDavid? Also, nice to see a Ken Dryden tribute, a real Leaf killer. Yes, that was Agent Provocateur. It was a fabulous tribute with Alan Walsh. And Ken Dryden was kind enough to come on the show years ago. So very cool. I got to interview Ken Dryden once, and I can always say that. Now, Marc-Andre Fleury was on Agent Provocateur. And I'm going to get to your question in a second here, Robert. Marc-Andre Fleury was on Agent Provocateur, and it was great. You should check this interview out. It's the only one he's done outside of like the Pittsburgh press corps. And he was talking about how it came together. And what I want to tell you is, man, this was all Kyle Dubas's idea. And what I said on the show and what I will say here is that as critical as I have been of the lack of direction of the Pittsburgh Penguins lately, the last couple of years under Kyle Dubas, he's never forgotten what it's like to be a fan. Never. And if the Penguins do what I think they're going to do this year, which is sell, Kyle's going to kill at that game, and he's going to rebuild this team, and it's going to look great. And I wonder if the Montreal Canadiens grab Sidney Crosby. Now, Robert, let's talk about Connor McDavid. If he were to come to Toronto, who would be my first line center? I don't know, but I do know this: Austin and Connor McDavid share the same agent. Austin and Connor McDavid might want to play together. So I think you sit him down in a room with Craig Berube there and you go, which one? Or you put Matthews and Nyes together. You put Nylander with McDavid because I think Nylander can really skate with him, and Tavares goes to line 3. That'd be a monster. Man, with all the signings, and we'll get to them in a bit. The Jesse stream is rating us. Is that why I'm seeing so many I love Tony hands? You know what? Screw you, Jesse. I don't even know what I can chirp back. John Sebastian Waugh, Tony Hand is the best. No, he's not. Catch these hands. More like Jesse Blake. Oh my God. Look at all the Tony hands. Stupid Jesse. Stupid, handsome Jesse. I'm upset about it. Listen, I don't have a problem with Tony Hand. Okay. It's just that every time it's like, wow, did you hear how many points he scored? It's like, yeah, I have. I have heard that. Okay. I know. I got it. What else? Has anybody thought to interview the man? Let's interview Tony Hand. Anyway, McTony Hand from Smiley Kyle. Tyler Durden, the real guy, says the only thing Adam hates talking about more than Tony Hand is the Detroit Red Wings. I don't hate talking about the Detroit Red Wings. I don't like the direction they're taking. Is that fair? Somebody just said hands are better than grippers in the chat. Excuse me? I'm sorry. I think you're in the wrong place. You might need to go back to watching the Blue Jays. Okay? Oh, Lorentz just took one off the boot, and that stung. I hope he's not hurt. One guy I'm curious to see is Sammy Blais. The Leafs claimed him off waivers. He played under Berube. If there are any injuries on the wing, Sammy Blais going in. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention with my Agent Provocateur thing. We're doing a big reveal tomorrow for a major guest that's coming on Agent Provocateur. Steve does not know who this person is. Jesse does. I do. And Justin Fisher does. Justin, who is running our chat right now. Okay? But nobody else knows. Well, no, Hayden doesn't even know. Nobody knows. We are sworn to secrecy until tomorrow morning, and we're going to be doing the podcast. And then when you see the podcast come out, you're going to know. Actually, the announcement will be on social media at noon. So you will be well aware at that point, but I've been sworn to secrecy until then. But let me just say it's one of the biggest guests in SDPN history. Any guesses? Put it in the chat. And it's not Tony Hand. Stop it. You stop it. You stop it right now. I'd like to see a Toronto Maple Leafs goal here. Austin Matthews line out there. Matthew Nyes, Matthias Michelli against the Demidov line with Alex Newhook and Oliver Kapanen, the goal scorer for the Montreal Canadiens. 11 minutes to go in the first period. You know what's nice? Now that we have a score bug, which is where, the time and the score is, that they call them score bugs. I don't know why. I don't have to yell the timeout anymore. And I don't have to clap for faceoffs anymore. It's like a whole new world here. Like we're acting professional. What's the deal? Worth mentioning, by the way, we're going to have some clips for you at intermission. Some big signings today. Jack Eichel, biggest contract in Golden Knights history, $13.5 million per season. Kyle Connor, over $12 million a season, biggest contract in Jets history. Oh, Tavares with a sneaky little backhand. If it had gone through, I think Montembeault got the paddle down. Nylander pass, yeah, it kind of goes off at body. Back out to the blue line. We're officially halfway through the first period of the first game of the season. And Bobby McMahon getting that puck deep. Nylander, Tavares follow. Where does Jesse get the nerve? You know what I'm saying? Where does Jesse get the nerve? Rating my stream. What can we do to Jesse? Hey, Muck Meh says, hey, Adam, my favorite SDPN character. I'm a character. I like that. In honor of the late Ozzy Osbourne. I love Ozzy. What was your favorite track of his with Sabbath and as a solo artist? Favorite track of him with Sabbath is super like down the line. It's War Pigs. I think that song rocks. And I know there's like a million like deeper catalog songs or whatever, but I got two for you from his solo career. Okay, one of them is like a big hit. The other, not so much. So I like my favorite Ozzy song on his own is No More Tears. But a special shout out to Bark at the Moon. But another song you should check out is called Desire. Check that song out. That song is awesome. If you're going to like hockey or you play a sport or you're going into a meeting with your boss and you got to get pumped up, put on Desire. It's just heavy and awesome. Shout out to all my Ozzy and Sabbath fans out there. I love you guys. All right. John Sebastian Y, your super chat's still at the top, but it still says stupid Tony Hand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. 8:18 left in the first period. Oh, Stolarz with a big save. The Caulfield line was out. Well, Caulfield was out. Bolduc had a nice little chance there. And Anthony Stolarz shuts the door. The Oliver Kapanen goal was a bit of a, but Stoley's been strong ever since. Real strong. It's amazing when you talk this much how dry your mouth gets. Also, I don't know if you're like me, but I can drink a coffee and sleep later. A lot of people can't. But I got real tired of the coffee we have at SDPN because Jesse doesn't quite have the elite taste buds that I do. And so I went out and got myself an espresso machine. That's right, fancy. And they sell these capsules. They have like a billion different types of coffee. But the coffee that they sell that I really like is the full coffees are called Melosios. But in the evening, I treat myself to an espresso or their double espresso. And when you get a double espresso, baby, you are flying all night. So we're gonna take my refined coffee palate, my elite taste, and we're gonna use that, and we're on rocket fuel tonight. And by the way, Rachel Bishop, welcome back, Rachel Bishop. Ha! It's so nice to see some familiar names. And you know what I love too? I love seeing all the green names. You guys are subscribers. I so appreciate that. And Rachel is giving subscriptions away. Now, what is an SDPN subscription anyway? I should probably tell you about that. SDPN subscriptions are as follows. You get all the SDPN episodes or SDP episodes early, and you get them ad-free. So you get them an hour earlier than everybody else does, and you get them ad-free And this is cool, you get an extra episode every week, STP VIP, where we go outside of hockey and we talk about a lot of the stuff that we used to talk about in the early days of this show, where we would do like the first hour would be hockey, the second hour would be pop culture, because like I was a top 40 radio DJ, and so I would just bring all the topics from my radio show over to that, and I'd let Steve and Jesse go off on them. It was great. So now we do a full episode to it, and anybody that is a VIP member, can you give me an endorsement in the chat at least, and just tell people how great it is, because they are fun. They are fun. I love doing those shows. We got a couple of, Rachel says, LOL, and I'm over here drinking instant cafe Bustelo. What's Cafe Bustelo, Rachel? Is it elite? Are we elite together, Rachel? That's all I'm saying. Robert Bett. Would the guest be Gary Bettman or George Peros on Agent Provocateur? No. It's one of the biggest guests we've ever had in Agent Provocateur history, and we've had some big guests, but it ain't those guys. I don't know if they'd agree to go on. Play has resumed, by the way, and I'm going to get to your next super chat here in just a second. Domi line out there with Dakota Joshua. Say that, Hayden? What's that, Hayden? Oh, Hayden says, Alan has only ever said good things about Gary Bettman. You're right. Alan is a big G-Bets guy. Big G-Bets guy. Player 4 says, how come we're only at 240 likes? Come on, guys. We can do better than that. Listen, from your words to God's ears, or Gripper Nation's ears, I should say. You know? And it's so nice to see everybody back. All of these names that I recognize and I love. Nicholas says, why didn't the Leafs start Primo? Cowards. You know what, Nicholas? You're right. He should have got the start against his old team. Grudge match. I don't know. I don't know how many. The Leafs play, I think, 14 games in October. My bet is that Caden Primo gets into at least 3 of them. Right? And that, like, it's going to be a pretty intense schedule this year, which is great for hockey fanatics like us. Like, if you're hanging out on the stream with me right now, you are a hockey fanatic, because you got to think about it. It's like, I'm going to watch a game and I'm going to go on a YouTube stream and I'm going to chill. That is a hockey, like, that's a fan. You know what I'm saying? So I am looking at this and I'm going, this season is for us, because we're going to get more games per month, compressed schedule, and then the Olympics. And the Olympics are, I don't know if you guys have looked at the Olympic schedule. It's most of February. I know the Olympics are like roughly 2 weeks. It starts, like, hockey stops on the 5th and doesn't come back till the 25th, man. It's going to be nuts. And by the way, hell yeah, we're doing streams for that. Absolutely. Is William Nylander going to the box? He is. Man. William Nylander to the box for Leafs fans are booing it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of a high stick on Caden Gooley there. Yeah, you got to go to the box for that. That's a dumb. Well, he didn't hit him, though. He didn't even hit him. I mean, it's a high stick, but it's a little weak. I don't love that call. I don't think that's a sexy call. And I don't like the Habs power play. This power play unit was amazing against Washington. It was one of the highlights of the series. It was a pretty quick series. Hayden, can I ask you to put your mic on mute, buddy? Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. I could hear what Hayden was listening to, and he was listening to the game, and I think Jesse too. So as an ADHD person who is just ripping caffeine tonight, it's difficult for me to keep it straight. Shout out to my ADHD people. By the way, I didn't really realize I had ADHD until Steve and Jax both said, hey, you should get tested for that. Actually, you know what it was? I was talking about some things on the show at the STP, and one of the things that I did was I was brushing my teeth one night, and we had a sink in our bathroom, as you do, and I just put my toothbrush down and walked away after I was done, and I left the water running, and Natalie walked in and was like, are you going to shut that off? And I was already in bed. Just just a regular day in the life of good old Adam Wylde. Level 5 Squirtle says, we boofing coffee tonight? Oh, we boofing. I don't know what boofing means, but we're boofing. Double espresso, my friend. We don't play. Wes Richard, when Canada wins gold, I will go broke from all the gifted subs. I can't wait for the Olympic streams. Wes, buddy, Wes, daddy, we're going to friggin' rock those. And you know what's crazy is it's going to be like, some of them are going to be like midday. It's going to be like 10 a.m. and we're all going to be like at work secretly watching. Anyway, is boofing bad? Should I not say that? Oh, no, Adam, that means to take it up the butt. Oh, we're not boofing coffee tonight. I've never heard that. Coffee enema, says Hayden. Well, I have heard of butt chugging. We boofing coffee. You jerk. I'll never forget that, level 5 Squirtle. All right? And your name's not even green. You're not even a VIP subscriber, man. Just coming on here and making me say shit. Come on. That was funny. Not going to lie. Chris says VIP is awesome. First day subscriber, and I'm a Wings fan. Speaking of, what do you think of the Wings starting 3 rookies out of camp? I think the Wings have got a solid group of veterans there. And if the Wings are going to get better, it's going to come down to the rookies. Like Raymond and Moritz Seider now are seasoned veterans. Eh? It's kind of crazy to talk about them like that, but it's true. And then you got Patty Kane and Ben Sherratt and all the guys back on defense. And I think Detroit's future rests with those kids, and they got to make it happen. It's a shame Philip Zadina didn't work out because I think that set the rebuild back a couple of years, to be honest with you. You know, him going, was it 5th or 6th overall? They really, really, really needed him to be like a, like a Mitchkoff or a Line A or something like that, and he just didn't pan out. It's a shame, but it's also life. I like life. Oh, who dropped John Sebastian Waugh dropping 20 gifted subs. Is he boofing subs? I shouldn't say that more than I need to. Somebody's gonna cut that, and I'm gonna be in trouble. We already got the Gripper Nation thing's already enough. Now I got to explain to my family that I'm saying boofing all the time. Not good. Lisa tuning in from, I think that's the Australian flag. It's very similar to the New Zealand flag. I don't know how many stars that each have, but they could have done us a favor and had different flags. But they're like, nah, we have similar accents too. Suzuki with a good play to Slavkovsky. Broken up. Here comes Bobby McMahon using that speed. Tavares following to Bobby is driving. He'll be pushed towards the behind the net. McCabe out to Tanev, back to McCabe. McCabe had the first shot of the game, and there's another one. Again, more shots from the point. The Leafs need more goals from the point, and you can't get that if your defensemen aren't shooting. Oh. Billy Whitehead. It's okay. The Sabres have their rebuild back, have set their rebuild back like 4 times already. SDP VIP is amazing, and I can't wait for the rec group. Yes, we have a live show coming up. Is that next weekend? It is. Not this coming weekend, but October 18th. This weekend's Canadian Thanksgiving. And Hayden is going to be there. He's going to drive down from Barrie, where he lives, and he's going to come hang out with us, which I'm excited about. Will Justin Fisher be there? Will he make an appearance? Who's to know? And where does Justin Fisher live? Nobody knows. Does he? Justin Fisher, no fixed address, potentially. Anyway, I'm really excited. You can buy tickets now. It's going to be a good show, and we love the rec room. It's going to be a blast. Pierre-Luc Dubois, hey, Adam, if you step foot in Arkansas, you will be made an urban legend. Is that a death threat, Pierre-Luc Dubois? What does that mean? Windsor winemaker, I am going to assume that by pressing grapes, this is not some Gen Z phrase I've never heard of, because you're a Windsor winemaker. But Adam, I've been pressing grape for 12 hours already today. As a proud member of Gripper Nation, I'm going to let you guess what I've been pressing them with. Let me guess, a grape press. Am I in trouble? Did I just say something bad? Did I just say something bad? I hope not. The Freak Show 777 says Justin is also probably not real, so that's fine. Justin Fisher is the LeBreton Flats, not actually real. Not actually real. Not a thing. Sorry, kids. Justin is not real. Santa Claus is. Justin, not real. But if you believe in him, he might show up at your house unannounced without presents. All right. Kirby Doc, Austin Matthews. And Austin Matthews was kicked out, so here comes William Nylander. So this is interesting. Nylander, Nyes, Matthews for this offensive zone start. Craig Berube being flexible with the lines and almost gets Matthews the play that they wanted. Just wasn't a clean faceoff win. Woo! What? Oh my God. Bad play by Stolarz and the Leafs defense there. It sure looks like the first game of the season. But they were able to get out of it. And my reaction was probably cringe, but whatever, man. It was real. Here comes Matthew Nyes. For checking. Austin Matthews with him. Is Michelli out there? Yes, no, that's Robertson. So they're going to the third line here. Going to try to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Nick Robertson. 2:45 left in the first period. By the way, Jesse is also doing a stream right now. Yankees have tied it up. It's the bottom of the third. Seems like it's a tight game. I'm so scared of a bullpen game. I just want the Jays to win and make it easy for me, please. Don't put me through a game 5. Please, God. Please, God, no. Please, God, no. Dakota Joshua with a hit. A lot of Vancouver Canucks fans in the chat tonight. Just have a lot of Vancouver Canucks fans that always join the chat, and I'm always thrilled about that. I think because, A, they're cool. B, it's an early game. There's a West Coast game to watch. Not Coast, but West game to watch. Calgary Edmonton's playing tonight. So sometimes Canucks fans join us early, and every one of them, the second Dakota Joshua got to Toronto, every single one of them was like, we're going to miss that guy. He rocks. 2:16 in the first. Montreal outshooting Toronto 10-7. Max Domi is going to be taking this offense or the defensive zone faceoff draw. This is not what Craig Berube wants, but you can't avoid all of them. Stoley is able to cover up that puck after the Leafs lose the draw. Lane Hudson with the shot there. Oh, we got some super chats. Robert Bett. At least they're shooting more, unlike last year. Where's Steve tonight? Steve is at home, and Steve is going to be streaming on Saturday night. And you should expect a few more games from all of us this year. We're enjoying these streams so much. So Steve will be on Saturday night against the Detroit Red Wings. Wes Richard, Jesse has agreed to boof coffee if the Jays win the World Series. Wes, has he actually? I hope he has. Hey guys, since Jesse rated our stream tonight, do you want to rate his? I think we got to do something with boofing. Don't you think? Can we? What should we say? What should we say on Jesse's stream? We got to work on this together. We got to workshop it, and then we're going over. Last Resort 318. Joshua, Bluger, and Garland was the best third line in hockey for a season. Man, I loved that line. I can't believe they almost traded Connor Garland too. That guy is just. I love that guy. He's such a good player. Glad he's found a home there. Wish it was a home here. But nice to have Dakota Joshua here. Bobcat says, wait, he's going to boof hot coffee or cold? And shout out to the ADHD gang people in the chat tonight. You guys are making yourselves known. It's a good time. It's a good time. 1:29 left in the first. All right. Did Jesse actually agree to do that? By the way, I need to know. The Freak Show 777 says, Adam, you might have mentioned this off the top, but is this your home setup? Believe it or not, it is not my home setup. This is a setup that Jesse Blake made for me this summer. And the corner that I used to have the two ferns, remember I used to have the two ferns? The corner is like literally just over there that I used to sit in. And I think the ferns have been thrown out. I don't know where they are. And of course, those of us that have been around since real early with my streams, I was between two crotches with we have a little mural of Steve and Jesse and I. And unfortunately, the level I was sat at was Jesse and my crotch that you saw in the background. So, I feel like we've come a long way. I've got some good merch in the background. All of it's Steve's, except for There's an SJ Sharkey character here, but it kind of it reflects off the thing. Look, so there's 1 of 500, and SJ Sharkey gave this to us in San Jose. Isn't that cool? 1 of 500. So I carried that home in my luggage, got it through customs. ICE didn't detain me, thank God, and brought it home. Shout out the Sharks. That was a great time. That was crazy that we got to do that. Lindsay Hockey Fiend says, "Nice set. New setup looks good. Better than two crotches." We're gonna keep working on the setup too. This isn't done. I want to fix the lighting in the background, but I think it's a lot better than it used to be. And also, the camera work. We're gonna do a better camera too eventually. It's just part of the evolution of SDPN. All right, first period, wrap it up here. 1-1. Oh, Morgan Riley. Moa. He knows he missed one. He knows he missed a good one there. Did he miss the net, though? That's what I want to know. Oh, okay, went off. I think it went off Montembeau's shoulders. Pat? Yeah, I think it went off Montembeau. Wow, he just got a piece of it. Mo, buddy, get that up a little higher quicker, man. Wes Richard, surprise coffee booth for Steve on the pod tomorrow? No. I do want to mention again, huge announcement on the pod tomorrow or at noon if you're checking out our SDPN social media. We got a huge guest that you are not going to want to miss on Agent Provocateur. And even if you've never checked out that show before, which is fine, this is how we get you into Agent Provocateur. It's that big. Like, we just had Marc-Andre Fleury on, and I'm telling you, this guest is big, like Marc-Andre Fleury big. Primarina Princess, your local ADHD Kraken fan here to vibe after a long day. Love that. Thank you for bringing the vibes. Also, our team has 3 alternate captains now. LOL. Well, we had 3 alternate captains for years. I'm not really sure that there's anything wrong with it, but it's so weird in the NHL. You're only allowed to have 2. So, yeah. Anyway. How's that Jays game going? 1-1, bottom of 3. Bottom of 3. Okay. All right. We're hoping. We're praying. We're crossing our fingers. Wes Richard, surprise coffee booth for Steve on the pod tomorrow. Yeah, like, we're not that kind of channel. I'm sure. Listen, OnlyFans exists. So yeah, OnlyFans exist. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could find it. It is the internet. We will not be providing that at SDPN. We like to provide highbrow content, like learning Gen Z slang on God, for real. Player 4, Sharks fan here. Loved meeting you guys last year, and so glad you guys are a part of our fans now. Yeah, you know what, man? I could never hate the Sharks, man. That was such a great time. And what's amazing is how many Leaf fans we met down there. If you're a Leaf fan, and I didn't know this actually. Can I tell you a secret? So, obviously, the greatest concentration of Sharks fans in the world is in Northern California, in the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose area. The second biggest spot for Sharks fans in the entire world, like the biggest concentration, is right here in Southern Ontario. Now, it's probably because there's a lot of fans here, but I thought that was really interesting. That was a fact that I recently learned, and I was like, oh, no kidding. So lots of Sharks fans in the area, and that's probably because the Sharks were good for a long time while the Leafs weren't, and people were just like, straight up, man, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't watch Jared Smithson take another power play face-off. No disrespect to Jared. Robert Bet says, might be in the minority here, but I can't wait to see Pizzetta. He's such a fun player to watch if he's on your team. Yeah, man, I am excited for Pizzetta too. I hope they dress him against Florida. That's all I'm going to say. Steeson Schiller. Yeah, highbrow content at SDPN. Like feet for likes. I will do anything for your likes. Just a Jersey Boy says, hey, hope all is well. Wondering if you've been able to play Star Wars Empire at War since we last talked. I have not. I tried to run one of those, whatever, the things that I can run. What is that called? Where I can run Windows on a Mac? Emulator. Yes. I wasn't able to figure it out. I'm not really computer savvy either, but man, I'd love to play Empire at War. It's such a great game. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Hayden played an entire Pokemon game on his flight to Portugal on his iPhone. Now, is that an app or did you run an emulator on your phone? Emulator app on your phone. Well, I'm gonna have to sort this out. Now, I want to say this. Jesse Blake is doing the Blue Jays stream right now. And I also have a clip to run because we're going to take a quick break. But we had three major signings today and three major re-signings. Kyle Connor, Matthias Ekholm, Kyle Connor in Winnipeg, Matthias Ekholm in Edmonton, and Jack Eichel, the biggest one, in Vegas. Hayden, which one are we going to do right now? Kyle Connor. So I'm going to we're going to play this clip, and then we're going to come back for the second intermission because I just need a little bit of a break so I can get more rocket fuel. Let's boof. All right, let's go.
Kyle Connor is making the dollars. That was awful. I'm sorry. The Winnipeg Jets have signed Kyle Connor to a franchise record contract. 8 years, $12 million per season. That is a $96 million deal. Let's talk about it. First of all, we're seeing the market on what NHL players are making reset at an aggressive rate. We didn't see it quite as quickly as we expected on July 1st. We saw it with some lower tier guys. Like, no disrespect to them, they're good hockey players, but they're not exactly Connor McDavid, for example, or even Kyle Connor. Nick Hague got a big pay deal, so did Kevin Ball, so did Christian Dvorak, but we're all like, oh, that feels like kind of a lot. Mitch Marner signed for $12 million in Vegas. Mikko Rantanen signed for $12 million in Dallas. But for both of those players, the rumored numbers ahead of them signing those deals was bigger. So even those, we were like, oh, okay. It's a lot, but okay. Kirill Kaprizov changed the game, making $17 million a year. And what I think we're going to see more and more going forward is star players like Kyle Connor and their agents looking at Connor McDavid's contract extension that he just signed and go, yeah, that's him though. Star players are going to continue to get paid something along the lines of what Kyle Connor just signed for. If you are wondering how Kyle Connor is worth $12 million per season, maybe you need to learn a little bit more about Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor is an elite goal scorer in the NHL, and he has been for a number of years. The 2016-17 season with the Winnipeg Jets was his NHL debut. He scored 2 goals in 20 games. In his sophomore season, he scored 31 goals in 76 games, and he never looked back. His goal totals in order: 31, 34, 38, 26, we'll get to that later, 47, 31, 34, 41. 41 being last season. In the 26 goal season that Connor had, it was actually the Canada Division 56 game shortened season. If it were an 82 game season, he was scoring at a 38 goal pace. And a few seasons ago, when he scored 34 goals, well, he only played 65 games, so he actually scored at a 43 goal pace. He scored at a better pace than last season when he had 41. Since the beginning of the 2021-2022 season, Kyle Connor is 13th in the entire NHL over that span in goals. And he's not just a power play merchant, because he's not even in the top 50 in power play goals over that span. In even strength goals over the past 4 seasons, Kyle Connor is fourth. The only guys ahead of him are Austin Matthews, David Pastrnak, and Nathan MacKinnon by 1. McDavid is behind him. Nylander is behind him. Rantanen is behind him. Ovechkin is behind him. Draisaitl's 13th? Kyle Connor is also top 10 in shots over that span. If you want to go all the way back to Kyle Connor's first breakout season in the 2017-18 season, Connor is 8th in the entire NHL in goal scoring over that span. He is elite. In terms of even strength goals over that span, Kyle Connor is 6th, still ahead of Leon Draisaitl and barely behind Nathan MacKinnon. Guy's an animal. And 10th in shots. Guy's an animal! Are there flaws to his game? Well, Team USA sure thinks so. We saw that at the Four Nation Face-Off. Instead of going with Kyle Connor, who was one of the best goal scorers in hockey last season, not to mention literally one of the best American goal scorers in hockey last season, in the gold medal game against Canada, they opted to go with 6.5 minutes, roughly, of Matthew Tkachuk and also last year's version of Chris Kreider. What's that saying again? Never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake? I think all of Canada, including especially Jets fans, were like, yeah, no, that's a really good idea. You should do that. And then that game went to overtime. And the States almost won a bunch of times, but they didn't win. They came close to winning, but they didn't win. What if Kyle Connor was playing in that game? What if he was? Well, he wasn't. And the entire nation was thankful for it, just not the one he plays for. This essentially confirms that Kyle Connor is going to be a Winnipeg Jet for his whole career, if not the vast majority of his career. He's only 28 right now. He signed an 8-year deal. That takes him to 36. The Winnipeg Jets picked Kyle Connor 17th overall in 2015, and they couldn't have nailed that pick harder if they tried. From the 2015 draft class, Kyle Connor is third in goal scoring, only behind Connor McDavid and Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen is 10 goals ahead of Connor in 39 more games. Over 100 points ahead of him in assists, but we're going to ignore that. Here's what I want you to avoid. I think because Connor McDavid just signed his extension at $12.5 million per, people are going to look at Kyle Connor's deal, and some of them might say, well, you're paying the Winnipeg premium there. I don't think that's true at all. I think that is perfect fair market value for Kyle Connor, and the idea of the Winnipeg premium for now is definitely gone. They won the President's Trophy last year. How good does that Hellebuck deal look right about now? How good does that Scheifele deal look right about now that they signed just a couple years ago? And now they got Kyle Connor on, yeah, it's expensive, but it's perfectly reasonable for what he does. The core of the Winnipeg Jets is locked up for the foreseeable future now that Connor's done. All of Scheifele, Velarde, Connor, Niederreiter, Iafallo, Nemesnikov, and Barron are locked up front. You're going to have to get Cole Perfetti done. That's the one headache you got to worry about, but he's a restricted free agent, and now you don't have to worry about the Connor deal. On the back end, Pionk, Morrissey, Sandberg, DeMello, all locked up, and Hayden Fleury. And of course, Connor Hellebuck. The big thing that all teams are going to be looking for going forward is cost certainty and locking guys up to term, because all the projections for the salary cap are up. Oh, it's going to be 104 million. Oh, actually, it's going to be 107. Actually, it's going to be 110. We're just living in a different world than we were a few years ago. A few years ago, you would look at Kyle Connor and the fact that he's currently making just over $7 million. And then you would look at next year, he's making 12. He's getting a nearly $5 million raise. The cap is not going to go up by $5 million. We're paying more to keep the same team. In fact, we're probably going to have to subtract from the roster. This isn't good. That's just not the world we live in anymore. Kyle Connor is getting a significant raise, and the salary cap is still going to go up by far more than that. The only real concern is at the end of it, he's going to be old. Dude, Kyle Connor's under contract with the Jets for the next 9 seasons because he signed the 8-year extension, and he's still got this one that hasn't even started. Yeah, in 6, 7, 8 years, maybe you do have to start worrying about that cap hit. But consider this. The cap will probably have gone up significantly more by then. And also, who cares? What if he gets old and can't score goals as well anymore? What if someone breaks into your house and abducts you and takes you into a hot air balloon, and then that hot air balloon is attacked by a bunch of, like a flock of geese with extra sharp beaks, and then the hot air balloon goes crashing down into the lake, and you realize you can't swim. And also there's new freshwater sharks, and you're eaten by the freshwater sharks. That is a less sophisticated way of saying, why are you worrying about that? Relax. An elite player under contract is always a good thing. And for the Winnipeg Jets and their fans, Kyle Connor under contract at a perfectly fair market rate, it's good for them. But what do you think? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends the 2025-26 NHL season is underway.
Okay, I still have stuff in my mouth because they cut the clip a little short. But um, yeah, sometimes you get hungry. Um, is that Cassie? By the way, is Cassie here? Cassie, are you here? Cassie, we've missed you. I see some Cassie clan emojis, but I can't find your chat. But if that's our girl Cassie, we've missed you. I for everybody asking what I was eating, it's a Larabar, which always looks so much better than they taste. Um, Hayden just said those are disgusting. I don't know if would I call it disgusting or would I call it hmm. It's okay. Hayden says a handful of sand. Okay, those are I'm gonna do this. I think those are Cliff Bars. Um, so yeah, that's what I was eating. Just trying to be fit fam healthy boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I did that. That's me like fighting off the urge to snack on sugary stuff. So it's nutritious, but damn, it's about as exciting as watching Tron Ares, which apparently is a horrible movie. And I'm like, well, their first problem was Jared Leto's in it. And it's been a while since Jared Leto made a good movie. But Hayden said, who's hiring this guy? That's what I said when I saw the premiere or the premiere, the trailer. I still want to see it because I like Tron and I'm not into Tron lore in the same way that other people are. But dude, I desperately wanted that to be a good sci-fi movie because we haven't had like a great sci-fi movie in a long time. And it's funny, I was um STPN Adam, careful, we're trying to land a granola bar sponsor. Listen, I'm happy to land a granola bar sponsor. Lara Bar has not called us up. But there are other granola. Listen, President's Choice granola bars. You know what I'm talking about. So good. Um, yeah, I want to. Okay. Oh, so hold on, Justin. You saw Tron Ares and you thought it was good? Oh no, Tron Ares is also a sponsor. We love Tron Ares. Go see it in theater. Oh God. Yeah, I heard Tron Legacy was awesome. Said somebody in the chat there, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I have to. I got into Tron when I was a little boy because Tron, the original like '80s one, was on TV, and it was such a like I just gotten into Star Wars, and it was just randomly on one night, and I remember asking my dad like, "What is this?" And my dad's like, "Oh, that's Tron," like blah blah blah, and he's like, "It's kind of cool. You should watch it." And I'll be honest with you, I was pretty young, like grade 3 probably. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I it's one of those things kind of like Dune that I've always wanted to get into and I've just never made the time to. I want to get into the Duneverse, but there's like 40 books. I've also heard Wheel of Time is great. My wife read that because she dated a guy, if you can believe this, who got her into Game of Thrones before it was a TV show. God bless that man. Listen, sometimes you don't want to hear about the person that your partner dated before you. This is a long time ago. I'm grateful for him because he got her into all this sci-fi stuff. So I think Wheel of Time, Game of Thrones, some of those things. I haven't gotten into those. Dune is one I want to dive into, but I'm worried that by watching the movies, I'm kind of spoiling the surprise. Maybe not. The movies are sick. And Tron is obviously another one. The Tron sort of universe. Justin Fisher, did this man forget that Dune 1 and 2 just happened? Oh, no. Listen, I was into Dune 1 and nobody else in my family was taking that seriously. And I was like, guys, this movie's sick. And they're like, yeah, I guess. And then you see the second movie and you're just like, this is amazing. And I just haven't been wowed like that in a while. One that always splits people down the middle when it comes to sci-fi is Avatar. And for whatever reason on my YouTube and TikTok lately, I've been seeing a lot of like Avatar clips come up and I'm like, you know what? It's been about 15 years since I watched that first movie. I should watch that again. Because there was a lot of things about it at the time. It's like the special effects were insane, right? Like I remember seeing that in the theater and going, holy, that's insane that they did that. But people were like, but it's actually a bad movie. Now I'll tell you, I loved it. I didn't care. My bar for plots, they copied the Avatar cartoon. I don't even get that. Is it a joke, Hayden? Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay. Never seen it. Oh, so it's air, water, fire, and they copied that. Okay. Well, anyway, I loved it. And because again, I'm not. It's not coffee. I don't have like a particular like high taste and whatever. But I want to watch that, and I've never seen Avatar: The Way of Water, so I should check that out too. But I'm like, it's fall, and right now I'm looking at like a partial full moon right outside the SDPN office window, and I'm like, I'm not feeling horror movies. I'm feeling sci-fi. I want, usually like there'd be a Mandalorian to watch or an Andor to watch or something like that. But it's been suspiciously quiet on that front, and so I'm kind of sad about that because I was hoping Tron would be good, but apparently it's bad. All right, here we go. Matthias Michelli on the sidewall. Matthias Michelli back to Austin Matthews. That's going to be a combo we're going to watch. There's going to be some adjustments on this team, kids. People were already upset about the power play on Twitter. I'm like, relax, guys. It sucked for 10 weeks last year to start the year, and that's with Marner. Relax. And I should have talked I'm talking to myself from last year too. Life Olpstead says, I went to my first playoff game of any sport on Sunday night. Voice was gone afterwards, but it was worth it because my team won. Go Mariners. Leaf. Buddy, my entire family, the American side, are all in the Seattle area, and they're all Mariners fans. So what we're hoping for is that the Blue Jays and the Mariners get through, and that they play each other, because that is going to be that'll be a good family battle. I'm excited for that. I hope it happens. Also, my mom's husband is from Seattle. He's a Sounders fan. He's a Seahawks fan. Not a Kraken fan because he'd already left by the time the Kraken showed up. But I'm telling you guys, party time. Excellent. I think it'll be great if the Jays can just get through. And the Jays, it's tied 1-1 still. For some reason, I thought it was 2-1, but it's not. Justin Fisher, your chat's in there. I got you. No complaining about me not getting to your chat. Wes Richard said, Weapons is my favorite movie this year. I heard that's a great movie. Is that the kids all running away? Like with their arms behind their back? Hayden says he saw it in theaters and it's so effing good. And then what else we got? Player 4, more sci-fi horror than raw sci-fi, but don't sleep on Alien Romulus, best alien since Aliens, which is the second movie. I'm biased, but it's my favorite franchise. Yeah, the Alien franchise is great. And I think Prometheus and whatever the follow-up movie for that, they could have been amazing, but they just, whoa, what a save. Oh, scored. Damn it. That's Zach Bolduc. On the rebound, Anthony Stolarz is not able to corral the Brendan Gallagher first shot, and the Leafs can't clear it. Zach Bolduc gets the rebound and scores. So let's have a look at this. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, kind of coughs the puck up. Tanev gets down in front of it, and he's down for the rebound, too. That sucks, and it's not their fault. But that is the Max Domi line out there, and that's something that they've got to watch because obviously, they're supposed to get a lot of offensive zone starts, and we don't expect them to be very good on defense. To be honest with you, that was all Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Bad giveaway. What are you going to do? Poopy. Also, Canadiens fans, you should be excited for Zach Bolduc. That guy's a horse. I think he's going to be what they thought Josh Anderson was. And Josh Anderson's good. I think he's going to be better. I really do. So, yeah, Leafs are looking a little sluggish at the moment. Not a great start to this period. Player 4, by the way, Romulus, best alien since Aliens. I've heard it's awesome. I have not seen it yet. Got to see it. Alien is a franchise I've not paid a close enough attention to, but I need to get better. Francois Lebel. Hey, Francois. There's another person. Francois Lebel from Lebel Provence. I loved Avatar, but it's Pocahontas in space. Go Habs, go. You know what? I'm good with that. I like the Pocahontas story, even though it's definitely not real, at least the way Disney portrayed it. Justin Fisher, if you're looking for A-plus sci-fi TV, The Expanse. Oh, I haven't seen that. There's a lot of sci-fi on Apple Plus, too. I've noticed that. Woo! The Expanse is on Apple Plus, right? And there's also one called Silo that I want to check out with Rebecca Ferguson, who is also in Dune. Leafs are looking a little sluggish against this Montreal Canadiens team. Although, to be honest with you, last year they kind of did too. Although, yeah, they outshot the Canadiens. They still lost the first game, but they haven't given the team or the fans a lot to cheer about here. Oh, Tanev with a shot on goal. Puck given away a little bit there by Bobby McMahon. Man, a lot of sci-fi fans in the chat. I'm amongst my people. It's so nice. Hyperion, best sci-fi book I've ever read. I should check that out too. All right. 16:57 left to go in the second period. Leafs with an ozone draw. First line out there, and Matthews loses it. I was just about to say, here's an opportunity for them to get the momentum back. Well, not this time. I'm still drinking this double espresso. I'm letting it kind of spreading it out. Because it is, I'm not kidding you, man. It's rocket fuel. Like, if you're coming in for Adam Wylde streams this year, you're going to get... We're going to get it. You're going to get it, is what I'm saying. You're going to get some energy. Fire it up. Let's go. Also, I got to learn how to swallow coffee properly, apparently. Nyes and Michelli behind the net there. Slafkovsky, Caulfield, Suzuki out there for the Montreal Canadiens. So it's line one versus line one. Austin Matthews back through center. Pass to Tanev, and it's intercepted by Caulfield, or broken up at least. Caulfield back over center, over the blue line. He's got Hudson and Slafkovsky with him, stopping on the sideboards, looking, waiting, to the point. Nobody there. Suzuki had a wide open cage on Stolarz, but he couldn't quite get the handle on it for a quick one. Matthias Michelli is able to poke the puck out, but it's right back to Caden Gooley. Slafkovsky over the line. Here comes Hudson alone, and he can't get the puck, but he had a wide open net. Stolarz had not quite gone over to cover the angle there. Man, Hudson looked dangerous. Excuse me. During the preseason, when the Leafs lost to the Canadiens there, he looked phenomenal. Like, the Leafs did not have an answer for him. Montreal better get that extension signed. He's looking good. 15:07 left in the second period. By the way, checking in with the Jays game, it's the top of the fifth inning. 2 men on. Runners on the corners, actually, for the Jays. 0 outs. So this is an opportunity. You can see, I'm looking at Jesse's stream right now. It's going on right now. You can watch Jesse and watch me at the same time. And Jesse is nervous. That boy's got sweaty hands. We're praying. We're hoping, we're praying. Oh, it's top of the order, too. Oh, boy. By the way, West Richard is in both chats, buddy. That's devotion, my man. That's devotion. Jean Simard. Jean Simard. The Expanse is a cold war between Earth and Mars fighting a proxy war over an asteroid belt. Hell yeah. That sounds like my jam. I'm going to have to check that out. Cassie. What's up, Cassie? Everybody, Cassie's back, baby. For anybody that doesn't know, Cassie's a bit of a star in these parts. Cassie, hope you guys had a good summer. Maybe a bit more scarce this season as I have to get up at 5 a.m. every day and drive an hour and a half to work. And I'm expecting to have surgery, so I have to say for that. Well, you know, Cassie, whenever you can make it in and just join the chat, we're happy to have you. We're excited that you're here, and it's nice to see a familiar face. And the Jays have scored a run. Looks like it was a fielder's choice. Jays, anyway, doesn't matter. Jays are up 2-1. And the Montreal Canadiens here are up 2-1. And you know what's nice? Is that this is game 1 of 82, and there's significantly less stress here. Morgan Riley with a shot. Yarncroke with the rebound. Oh, boy. There is just 40 bodies down in front of the Montreal net, most of them Habs, and it worked. Puck stayed out. Puck back in and it scores! Calle Yarncroke with his first goal of the season. And you know what? Let's talk about Calle Yarncroke. This is a great vintage Calle Yarncroke goal. Puck shot in, rebound to Calle. Calle scores. This is a guy who was in a lot of pain last year. He missed most of the season, all of training camp, with surgeries. He had a sports hernia and he had something else, and I can't remember what it was. So Riley gets the initial shot here. I'm just looking at the rebound, and I'm going to tell you the Calle Yarncroke story because I think it's a good one. Puck goes back out. Lorentz sort of is able to get the puck around Gallagher. Riley with the shot on net. He shot a lot tonight, and Calle Yarncroke is able to keep it out of Arper Xhekai's skates and right through Montembeau's 5-hole. Yeah. Now, Calle Yarncroke was talking to Josh Cloak from The Athletic, and he basically said that he was in enormous pain even into the playoffs last year, but he was playing. And then he was worried that, it would carry over into this year, and he went on a holiday to Greece. And maybe it's just the Mediterranean Sea, but he actually he realized that when he was out on a jog once that he was like, oh, I'm not in as much pain. I'm going to pretend I'm him on a jog. I'm not as much pain as I used to be. And then apparently he's like, the pain just disappeared. So he had a really, really good camp. And if you remember, he opened the scoring for the Leafs in the first game of preseason as well. And anyway, long story short, nice to see him healthy again. I think he gets a lot of shit from Leafs fans for no reason. He's been a useful player the entire time he's been here. He's on the last year of your deal, making $2.1 million. If he gets you 10 to 15 goals and great defensive play, that's what you needed from Calle Yarncroke. And we got a goal from him tonight, which we love. Got 2 goals from not Nylander and not Matthews. Not a bad way to start. That's depth scoring, kids. $13:26 left in the second period. Leafs showing some signs of life here after the fourth line scores a goal. It's interesting, too, with that play. Nicholas Waugh had a body-on-body play that will go almost completely unnoticed. But you'll notice with him, he's a big, big dude. And he might not be the fastest guy, but his positioning's always really sound. And he's able to move guys off a puck. Here's a rush by the Montreal Canadiens. Great save. Oh, it was deflected by Stolarz. Man, Hudson has looked dangerous. En français, dangereux all night long. That's a scary player right there. I wish he wasn't a Hab. Yeah, great pass to Demidov. To the left? How's that? Hayden's like, you're out of thing. You got to get back on the left. Anyway. Somebody gifted memberships. Giggling Cat. Hey, Giggling Cat. And Wes Richard. Baby, let's go. So we got a Jays run and a Leafs goal all in the last 5 minutes. Fabulous. Wes Richard, Wes Daddy dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Wes, thank you, buddy. And Giggling Cat, it is so great to have you back in the chat. 10 SDPN gifted memberships. And by the way, if you're brand new to SDP VIP, welcome. You now officially get all the episodes early, an hour early, and completely ad-free. Plus, you get an extra VIP episode, so you get 4 SDP episodes per week, baby. Per week. Robert Bet, I hope for you, Adam, the Mariners and the Blue Jays get through. I lost my mom 2 years ago, and we loved each other a lot. But being a diehard Bruins fan and me being a diehard Leafs fan, well, I'm sure there was. I'm sure your mom had some moments where she got to laugh. I don't know if there's many moments as a Leaf fan where we get to laugh at the Bruins. So, Tyson Barnett, Adam, did they make the right decision keeping Yarncroke? You're damn right. And you know why they did it? Because they listened to the SDP. Because they listened to the flippin' SDP, right? I have been pumping Yarncroke's tires forever, and I know everybody's tired of hearing it, but this is a very good player. Please stop. He's not your whipping boy. This guy rocks. Really good Dubas signing. Did you know that Kyle Dubas used to be his agent? It's true. It's true. Oh, I thought that my feed went away, and then Sportsnet's doing that weird thing where it says commercial break in progress. Jay's still up 2-1, 1 man on, top of the 5th inning. Let's go. Let's go, baby. That is hot. That is sexy. Okay. By the way, tonight marks the beginning of Joe Bowen, his last season with the Toronto Maple Leafs as a play caller. And now Joe Bowen has done this for 35, 40 years. And he's one of the greatest announcers in the sport. And it's a shame that he's not on TV anymore. He only does the radio call, but they are the greatest calls in sports, bar none, at least if you're a Leaf fan. He's one of the greats, and he's old school as it gets. It's a shame that this is his last year, but he worked his whole life and deserves to retire. I'm just going to miss him. So big shout out to Joe Bowen tonight. Hayden says shout out to Jim Ralph, his co-host and color analyst. Absolutely. Jim Ralph is spectacular. I don't, those are big shoes to fill to jump into that. But I would say that whoever Joe took over for probably, had big shoes to fill for Joe. So, it's just part of life. But Joe is one of the most electric announcers out there. Max Domi with a shot, and it is on the chest of Sam Montembeault. Max Domi has had a few shots tonight. Morgan Rielly has had a few shots tonight. Jake McCabe has had a few shots tonight. And you're probably wondering, Adam, why does that matter? It matters because those were guys that were not shooting last year. And I don't think the Leafs are going to all of a sudden become the Carolina Hurricanes and shoot literally everything at the net. But you need shots and you need goals from players like that. You got to get more goals from Max. It can't be, last 2 seasons with Toronto. I know last year he was injured, but it was like December both years before he scored his first goal. We need that to happen sooner. I know he's an assist guy, but we need that to happen sooner. We need Morgan Rielly at like 10 to 15 goals. And I know that's a crazy ask, but this is a guy that has done it before. He had 72 points one season. You don't believe me? Look it up. Guys, there's a reason he's making $7.5 million. So need to see that. Here's Nick Robertson. Oh, Simon Benoit took a big windup and missed. Oh, what a play. Oliver Ekman-Larsson almost gets the tip off Simon Benoit's stick. Man, look at those two. Simon Benoit finessing a play like that. That was great. Just carrying that Ottawa Senators overtime goal into this season. I love it. Look at this. Look at this play. Ekman-Larsson, nice play. Benny just kind of tips it wide, but man, nice play. You could tell those two like playing together. Oh, if he just kept it down a little bit, I think that's going top cheese. That would have been awesome. OEL to collect the puck behind the Leafs net. 11:32 left in the second period. We're now in the bottom of the fifth. Jesse is still doing a J stream. So if you need that kind of stress in your life, and you should, it's fabulous. Check out Jesse. He's here. And he will be on probably much after I'm gone because baseball games are just straight up longer. That game last night was an absolute marathon. It was crazy. The stress I had at the end, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm already getting grays in my beard. Dude, there'll be more grays just from this playoff run. Oh! Nice shot by Tavares off of a nice Willie Nylander setup here. And we've got some gifted memberships that we got to shout out and some super chats. Sedin Magic 15, I'll take that primary assist from Rielly in fantasy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more points. He's a good guy to have in your fantasy this year. Robert Bett, we already read that one. And JPix94, if you could combine 2 teams in the NHL, which 2 teams do you think could have the best potential to win a dynasty? So I'd pick a really old team and a really young team. Old team that's good, young team that has like superstars. So the young team I'm going to pick is going to be San Jose. And the older team, like in their prime, I'm going to pick is Colorado. I want you to imagine the Colorado Avalanche with their great peak of the moment players mixed with all the young guys from San Jose. That team is winning the cup for the next 10 years. We got another 10 SDPN memberships drop. Thank you so much. I keep forgetting your name is not listed, and I know your face, but I don't know what your name is, and I'm sorry. I'm a horrible man. I'm a bad man. Anyway, welcome everybody to STP VIP. And by the way, please thank the person that gifted you that sub because, it's Heather. It's always Heather. I'm sorry, Heather, I'm sorry. There's Callie Yarncroak, goal scorer, just like Uncle Adam told you. Francois Labelle, The Expanse is one of the best TV shows, period. Currently on Prime in Canada. Any plans for SDPN live in Montreal? I'd love to come back to Montreal. You know that we love Montreal. It's the greatest It's the most fun city in Canada. I'm sorry. And maybe there's some competition there though with Halifax. Halifax is a freaking riot. Montreal, Halifax. You know what I'll have to do? I'm gonna have to go back with the boys to both cities, and then we're gonna have to figure it out because I think that title switches back and forth. Listen, no disrespect to Winnipeg, no disrespect to Vancouver, Calgary. Calgary's fun, Edmonton's fun, Vancouver's fun, but dude, there's something about Halifax and there's something about Montreal. There's just those old bars and those old streets and the cobblestone and the old buildings. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. By the way, people are. I'm seeing some stuff on Jesse's chat. Adam is high on espresso. Good luck there. You know what? Shapoki, I got you. You think I'm not watching? I'm watching. I'm watching. Oh, crash out. Adam crash out. Oh man, Jesse. Damn, Jesse, just raiding our stream again. Okay, guys, we can't let him do this to us. We can't let him do this to us. Craig G, who is winning the Calder this year? Well, he's not playing tonight. I would have said Michael Misa. Probably Ivan Demidov. Probably Ivan Demidov. Look at all these people raiding our stream. Oh, Hayden wants Zeev Buyam to win. Of course he does, because Hayden is a Wild fan. Not of me, but the Minnesota Wild. You know what? We need to go after Jesse here. You know what? Okay, we're going after Jesse here, okay? All right? All right? Are you ready? Gripper Nation, we can't let them jump into our stream like this and just take over the chat, okay? I think it's time for us to get back on Jesse. Okay. For some reason in the intermission, I was like, okay, so somebody made me say boof on the air, not knowing what it was. Like, you gonna boof that coffee? So I think we need to say, we need to say something boof related to Jesse. Don't you think? What can we do? What can we do? Queso. Oh yeah, because remember Jesse got mad at Steve because he didn't know what queso was. Can we get Jesse to boof some queso? Can you guys ask him the question? Okay, so everybody, stay. Hold on, don't go to Jesse's stream just yet. Are we good with that? Jesse boofs queso. Jesse boofs queso. That 3 words. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody go over to Jesse's stream and say Jesse boofs queso. Get in there. Go. Get in there. Get in there. I want to say, I'm watching. Get in there. Oh, yeah, there we go. Jesse boofs queso. Let's go. Coming back. Boof squad. The boof is on the loose. This is not the highbrow entertainment. Jesse boofs queso, baby. He's the boofer king. Oh, man. Look at that. We're just taking over the chat. Take it over. To be honest, there's not a whole lot going on in this Leafs game. James David Atkinson. Adam crashing out more than Tony Hand when Tony Hand is mentioned. You know what? Wes Richard, Adam crashing McCrash out. I don't even know what a crash out is. Giggling Cat, best rookie goalie this year, just on vibes. Best rookie goalie. I don't know. You think Wallstead, Hayden? Well, yeah. So Hayden's like immediately Minnesota Wild. Man, Jesse is boofing so much queso right now. Yeah. So we'll go Wallstead. Wallstead's an interesting one. I'd love to see. I want to know what Askarov does because he was really hurt a lot of last year. I want to see what he's able to do in San Jose with that team of players that are definitely all getting traded except for the young people. Jesse's just boofing queso. 7:16 left in the second period. William Nylander at the blue line. Cuts back. Holds the puck. Passes in. Off of Montembeault and out. OEL at the blue line. Nylander with the puck in deep. Tavares recovers. Tavares to Ekman Larson at the blue line. And hey, look at that. Another shot from the blue line. By the way, shout out to everybody. Boof and queso. Boof and queso. I love it. Jesse does boof queso. You guys killed it. It was great. Jesse says he won. Jesse claims you crashed out. I don't. So what is a crash out anyway? What is it? Oh, Addison Barger on base. Player 4. I got to meet Askarov yesterday. He's so nice. That's cool. Oh, big backhand by Matthew Knies and a bigger save by Montembeault. Back out to Oliver Ekman-Larsson with the shot from the point. Boy, you could tell the Leafs are serious about floating a lot more pucks in from the point and getting bodies to the front of the net. This is Berube hockey. Matthew Knies using a Montreal Canadien to get around. Literally used him as a sled there. Here comes Kirby Dach, coming off of 2 very injury-plagued seasons. You hope that he's able to put together a full 82 this year. And there is a delayed penalty, and I think it's going to be Matthew Knies. Steeson Schiller, crash out, going full diaper. Oh! Briley says, SDPN, Jesse claiming victory. Only possible retort is more spamming. Well, see, I loved Jesse boofing queso. I think that was funny. I think that was great. We can up it. What can we do to embarrass Jesse Blake? Let me see here. So first off, his takes are weak, right? Like he's got weak takes. Like think, and if you don't think Jesse's got weak takes, look at his takes on Connor Hellebuyck. We got any Jets fans in the chat? We got any Jets fans in the chat? Remember what he said about Connor Hellebuyck? Remember what he said about your boy? That's my favorite goalie in the league, by the way. You know what he said about Connor Hellebuyck? That he was bad, overrated. Then he goes out and wins the Hart and the Vezina. You know? So we gotta, how can we embarrass? It's hard to embarrass Jesse. Really hard. Hayden says we should ask him about his baseball career because he hates talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I was in AAA in when I was 14, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, it friggin' matters, dude. AAA is really good. But what am I gonna do? Tease him about being embarrassed by his own accomplishments? I don't know. I feel like we need Steve on this one. I'm gonna text Steve. Text Steve Dangle. Hey, Steve, Jesse keeps rating my stream. What can we say back to him that will be hilarious and also embarrassing for him? I can call Steve if he doesn't get back to me, by the way. We'll put him on. 48 seconds to go on the Habs power play here, by the way. Oh, Caulfield tries to roof it on Stolarz, and Stolarz is able to get a shoulder on it. Hudson. This unit last year was so flippin' good in the playoffs. It really was a bright spot for the Habs. And you could listen, they were outclassed a little bit by the much older and much more deep and experienced Washington Capitals, but you could see the future. It was coming. Steve has not answered me yet, by the way. Oh, and they give the puck away to Nicholas Waugh. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Doesn't it? If you were hoping for us to be, if you were hoping for us to be unbiased, not happening here. That's it for the espresso. Woo! 4 minutes to go in the second period. Here comes William Nylander. Let's see if the Leafs can get something done here in the next 4 minutes. They got to win this game. And why I say they got to win this game, is it the end of the world if they don't win this game? No. but I hate losing to the Montreal Canadiens. And you don't know how many crazy ass DMs I've had from Montreal Canadiens fans who are so mad at me for saying that Lane Hutson's negotiations are not going well. And they're not, by the way. His agent has been taken off the negotiations, which is freaking wild. Kent Hughes used to work for Cortex. I think he founded it. Darren Ferris is, the guy at Cortex. Sean Coffey is Hutson's agent. So now Darren Ferris is overseeing another agent doing this. Oh, here comes Max Domi. Using the speed. And he's held up by Carrier. And here comes Jake Evans, basically unchallenged. Shot and a great save by Anthony Stollers. Anyway, it's been bubbling under the surface for a while. We've been hearing about this negotiation before it sort of hit the public. And the first sign of things getting weird was that Lane Hutson's dad interview with that Montreal guy and the Montreal reporter. You guys remember us talking about that on the podcast. And I hate to say it, but this is not the first time. It's not even the fifth time. This is like the 10th time I've heard this is not going well. And this is the first time it's really been reported this week. But the fact that both sides are taking a break and that the agent that represents him is no longer on it, I've never seen anything like that. And I've talked to a lot of people in the NHL, and they've said they've never seen anything like it. So, sorry, Canadiens fans. It's not going well right now, but Ken Hughes will figure it out. Here comes Nylander, or Lane Hutson gets traded. Hilarious. LOL. Okay, there's McMahon with a shot. Oh! Montembeault with a good save through traffic. McCabe, McMahon. Waugh changing. Tavares out. McCabe held up at the line. And Montreal is going to be able to get a change here. But a great pass. Oh, what a shot. Oh, man. Great pass to Tavares, who had a shot. I believe it missed just over the top of the net. 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in the second period. Chris Tanev, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Chris Tanev with the hit. Oh, out front. Oh, my God. Man, the Leafs defensive zone coverage has left a lot to be desired tonight. Hey, listen, it's the first game of the season. You expect some sloppiness. They're going to have to work on that. Oh, Ekman-Larsson is not happy. You think you're just going to... No. See, here's the thing with Ekman-Larsson. He's kind of a bastard, and Slafkovsky's got to use his... he's got to use his size, and he's got to be a little bit meaner. So I can see how that's going to happen from time to time. If Slafkovsky figures out how to be truly mean, like a true bastard, dude, scary dude. Scary, scary dude. Cassie says crashing out is like when you get mad and upset. I'm not mad. Do not print in the newspapers that I was mad. Crash Test Fetus. Welcome back. Crash Test Fetus has been here for a long, long time. Almost every game. Crash Test Fetus says, Jesse likes Aaron Judge's grippers. Can you imagine how big Aaron Judge's feet are? Like that man is huge. Crash Test Fetus, 4 goals is still a hat trick. Ooh, I like that. Sedin Magic 15, Lane Hutson, I guess his dad is taking over the negotiations. Duncan Hume says, got offered Michael Granlund for Will Smith in fantasy. Thoughts? It's a points league. Gut says hang on to Smith, but Granlund, wild legend, might pop. I think he will pop because remember, he's going to be playing with a lot of young kids who had a good amount of points last year, but the Ducks couldn't score a whole lot. They had good goaltending, but could not score a lot. That's a tough trade. Here's the thing with Granlund. He's like a career 50, 60 point guy. It's asking a lot of Will Smith to think that he'll get, hold on. Will Smith will be a 100-point guy one day, I think. Will Smith, hockey player. I just want to have a look at his stats. Willie, he had 45 points last year. You know what? Just for the vibes, hang on to Will Smith. He's going to get crazy opportunities this year. And if it's wrong, I'm sorry, but I would hang on to him. I would hang on to him. Wes Richard, is it just me, or had the rivalry between Montreal and Toronto been a bit lackluster the past few years, not enough hate between the two teams? Well, I think it was certainly hateful in the playoffs in 2021, and obviously Montreal got the best of Toronto that series. I would say that you're right, but I also think it's hard to have a rivalry when one of the teams stinks. And Montreal sucked after that run. They just did. They just were not good. The coach was. I never understood that coach. He was not good as a head coach. I'm sure he's doing fine in Vegas. I think he won a cup in Vegas, so he's doing fine. But I think they're better coached now. I think they're a better team now. I think they're well built. So Montreal, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Ottawa, Toronto, all of those rivalries are now heating up because for the longest time, it was Toronto was the only good team, and then Montreal was good for like that blip where they went all the way to the Cup Finals and they were bad again. So yeah, there's my opinion. It is heating up because they're good. Oh my God. The Leafs have got to do a better job of clearing those rebounds. A lot of bouncing pucks in front of Stolarz tonight. I know what will be the number one item on the video sessions tomorrow. 32 seconds left to go in the second period. Relatively even game. The one power play the Leafs got looked pretty bad. But hey, that's what happens. Now, I want to remind everybody that Jesse is doing a stream right now for the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays with Davis Schneider. And if you want that stress in your life, I would say go. I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm kind of looking at Jesse trying to figure out if he's sweaty or not. He looks like he's holding it together. Steve's got a really good. Okay, we're coming after Jesse in the third period. Steve got back to me. It's really funny, but I'm not going to give it to you right now. We got to save our ammo. We got to save our ammo for the third period. Craig G, if you could pick a dark horse team to win the cup, who would it be? Toronto might be a dark horse team to win a cup because I think I checked, I think their odds are like, it's between like 16 and 18 to 1. I think that one is going to be, I think those are good odds. Dark horse team to win the cup. I'm really, the Rangers sucked last night. I'm already regretting my pick about putting them in the playoffs this year. But man, if they could just play to their talent level, they could be a dark horse. I mean, remember, it was like 18 months ago, they were in the conference finals. And the team is on paper better than that team was. Right? If you want to get crazy and throw $2 at something, that's what I would do. Giggling Cat says, hey, Jesse, 4 goals equals a hat trick. We could do 4 goals equals a hat trick. We could. Cassie's got a dad joke for us. Why couldn't the jalapeno practice archery? Because it didn't have an arrow. Oh, waka waka. That's actually really good. And that's it for me. Good night. Good night, Cassie. Man, it's so good to see all the faces back. Everybody's back. Everybody's back. There is an idea that just came into my text messages. I'm not even going to tell you who it's from. About what to do about Jesse. And I think we need to do it, but I'm going to save it for the third period. Okay? And we're going to do it right when I come back. And person who texted me in the group chat, you know who you are. Okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. So this is a good idea. This is a good idea. Yeah, I think this is good. I'm actually really excited about this idea. So get ready, folks. Now, Hayden, we've got to do a, Sherry says, Adam cracks me up, scatterbrain. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I've been up all day and then I just had a bunch of coffee and I'm really excited. Hockey's back. Hayden, what clip are we running of Steve today? This is the Matthias Ekholm signing, a video that you can watch in full on the SDPN YouTube channel. If you want to watch this, that's great. If you don't, well, maybe you can go over to the queso boofer, Jesse, head over there, and you can watch the Blue Jays, and stress out, and pull your hair out, and all that stuff. Love you guys. I'll be right back. 5 minutes.
It continues to be good news for the Edmonton Oilers. Just a couple days after signing Connor McDavid to a shocking 2-year contract extension at an extension of his current contract, $12.5 million, the Edmonton Oilers lock up Mattias Ekholm for what is likely the rest of his NHL career. 3 years, $4 million per. How did they get Ekholm to take less? With the salary cap going up and everything, oh my goodness! Well, the easy answer is he's 35. And by the end of his contract, he'll be older than 35, he'll be 38. But, and this applies to most of the things that the Oilers are doing right now, who cares about a few years from now? Here's what the Edmonton Oilers currently have. This season, the season after, and the season after. What happens after those seasons, who knows? And who cares? Oilers could be 3 cups deep by then. Maybe that's aggressive, but I already planted my flag when McDavid signed his contract. The Oilers are winning a Stanley Cup over the life of his deal, his new deal that he signed. So here's the deal. Evan Bouchard's contract extension just kicked in, $10.5 million this season. Obviously, that's a significant raise. Going forward into the next 2 seasons, though, Connor McDavid's $12.5 million stays flat. Jake Wallman's $3.4 million goes up to 7, but Mattias Ekholm's $6 million goes down to 4, negating a big chunk of Jake Wallman's raise. All of Bouchard, Nurse, Wallman, and Ekholm are signed for this season and the 2 seasons that follow. The cap is going up. Skinner, Pickard, and Ingram are expiring UFAs. You do the math. Draisaitl's locked up and he's not getting a raise. McDavid's locked up and he's not getting a raise. Hyman's locked up and he's not getting a raise. Nugent Hopkins is locked up and he's not getting a raise. Frederick is locked up and he's not getting a raise. Even for this next season, Mangiapane is locked up and he's not getting a raise. And Janmark. So far, the only guy getting a raise next season is Vasily Podkolzin, and it's not even that big. He's going from 1 to, it's not even 3, it's 2.95. You've got a young cost-controlled guy like Savoy. You got a young cost-controlled guy like Isaac Howard. There is a lot to like about what the Oilers are doing. But Ekholm specifically, how good is he? Over his time in the NHL, he's been one of the more underrated and preposterously consistent defenders in the league. A 6'5", 225-pound defenseman who scores. Who doesn't want that? The only real cardinal sin that he commits is shooting left-handed. Beyond that, he's essentially the perfect defenseman. He had 9 goals and 33 points, scoring at just over half a point a game last season, and then he battled injury. The Oilers found a way to win in the playoffs without him, and then when he returned, he gave them 7 games played, 6 points in those 7 games. I know Ken Holland gets a lot of mixed reviews in Edmonton, but this move was a banger. First of all, it's crazy the Oilers got the Predators to retain salary on Ekholm for as long as they did, even though it wasn't that big of a retention. Nashville's so weird. They're run so strangely, and the Oilers took advantage of that. And in terms of what the Oilers gave up, Reed Schaefer looks good in the minors, but he hasn't played an NHL game yet. Tyson Barrie retired. The first round pick the Oilers gave the Predators in 2023 was 24th overall, and Tanner Molenbeek looks good in junior so far. And the 4th rounder the Oilers gave the Predators in that deal was actually flipped to the Lightning in the Ryan McDonagh deal. As in the Ryan McDonagh deal where the Predators gave McDonagh back. Just, again, a deeply weird team. He's huge. Bomb of a shot. Really solidifies the Oilers' D-core when they badly needed it and allows Evan Bouchard to be Evan Bouchard. For all of Evan Bouchard's warts, and there are warts in his game, some of the most elite offensive defensemen of all time have warts in their game, but they've had a partner who holds it down for them. When Ekholm is with Bouchard, it's the best version of both of them. Adding to Ekholm, I don't think people are doing the math right on the Oilers with Jake Wallman. You realize they have Jake Wallman all season this year, right? And yeah, he signed his extension, but it doesn't kick in until next year. The Oilers have Jake Wallman for $3.4 million, and they got him all year. They only had him post-deadline last year. Yeah, losing Zach Hyman sucks. That sucks. While he's out injured, That sucks and is no fun, and did I mention it sucks? They still need to prove that they can get saves consistently, but I think the Oilers are going to be A-okay. Even if they're not A-okay, they've had awful starts each of the past 2 seasons and were more than fine. They went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. What guys like Matthias Ekholm and Connor McDavid have decided over the last couple days is the team that gives them the best opportunity to win the Stanley Cup this year, next year, and next is the Edmonton Oilers. And here's the thing, they're right. Will they be proven right is the question. What do you think of this deal? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like to. Tell your friends Matthias Ekholm remains an Edmonton Oiler.
Somebody on our staff is an absolute genius. You see, Jesse's been jumping in to our streams, and he's been messing around. And he's been saying, I've been crashing out, going full diaper. And I'm not going to take this crap from him anymore, all right? The bullying needs to stop. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, don't say anything. I have Jesse's chat open. If you go and you tell him what we're about to do, I'm going to be really mad. Now, Justin, I need you to text me and tell me that you're good to go. Okay? The poll needs to be the first poll that you mentioned. Okay? Justin has access to Jesse's poll on his stream. I could have phrased that better. You know when you have like a poll that you vote on? Not the other type of poll. You sickos. Justin is going to put a poll on Jesse's chat right now that says, is Jesse A, loser, B, dummy, or C, butthead? And your job, Gripper Nation, is to go over there right now and choose one of those 3 and go, Jesse is A loser, B, a dummy, and C, a butthead. Okay? Get on it, Justin. Grill Bro says, I wish I had access to Jesse's poll. Don't we all? Don't we all? Justin, let us know when you got that poll up, buddy. I could have probably phrased that better. Joachim Hillman. Oh, Joachim Hillman. Hey, Adam, how are you? Happy to see Yarn Croak scoring. Me too. And a hi from a very early morning in Sweden. Mr. Hillman, it's nice to have you back. It's so nice. Everybody checked in tonight. Everybody checked in. I love it. Okay. Get in there. Get in there, Justin. The poll is not up yet. Everybody wait. Everybody wait. I'll tell you when it's up. Get ready. Oh, there it is. Ha ha! So it says on Jesse's stream right now, is Jesse A, loser, B, dummy, C, butthead, and D, Adam was here. All right, get over there right now. Go to Jesse's stream. Spam the shit out of it. All right? Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Votes. And also put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Get in there. Come on, guys. 129 people have already voted on it. Yeah. It's a great poll. Jesse says, what's the poll say? Ha ha. Yeah. Pocket Chain says, tired of hearing Sportsnet analysts saying how the Leafs are going to manage without Mitch Marner. Since when was Mitch the glue that kept the Leafs together? Yeah, I think I listen, to say that they're not going to miss a guy that had over 100 points last year, that would be coping. But I am also tired of it. It's a dead talking point. Let's move on. Let's just move on, you know? I think I'm going to post some skates bid says, watch a divorce with Adam Dennis. Dennis is not my last name. Dennis is my middle name, and it's with 1 S. Thank you very much. It's the French spelling. Nice try, though. Nice try. Also, I was divorced and am divorced, but also married. You could be married and divorced at the same time. Did you know that? Ernie Clement just stole a base, apparently. He's just having a hell of a series. That's Bad TV says that was an anticlimactic poll reaction. I don't know, man. 222 people voted on it. I think we did good. Anyway, Adam, Cliff Fletcher is old enough to have tried boofing coffee with Tony Hand at his gripper zone. Man, that is some deep flippin' lore right there. That's too deep. Too deep. Hayden says, "Do you like the new Bruins jerseys?" I do. I think they're great. I think they look good. It's simpler. It's old. It's like an old school and that sort of thing. I like it. And listen, I wish nothing good for the Bruins, but I do think they're nice jerseys. Would I put one on? I don't think I could. Nobody has hurt me. Nobody's hurt me like that. Loose Leaf says, "Get better, Adam. Get better." Wow. He's unimpressed by the poll. He says he couldn't see it. You know why? Because Jesse didn't even bother to look. He said he can't even see the poll. He can see the poll. Just click it at the top of the chat, Jesse. Oh, Jesse's getting very animated on his stream right now. This is so weird. I'm streaming a game and he's streaming a game and I'm watching his stream while my game is off and his game is on. It's very weird, but he's very excited. It looks like we got runners on the corners now. One out, top of the 7th. Blue Jays, if they win this friggin' game, are going to the ALDS. Come on, baby. Let's go. CS? What's that mean? Hayden? Oh, ALCS. Excuse me. This is the ALDS. Come on. Oscar G 49 Adam, I love the content and the podcast. You guys make my day when new episodes are out. Go Leafs go. Well, guess what? We're going to have a new episode out tomorrow where we have a huge surprise. It's an agent provocateur surprise. So there's 3 people at our network that actually 4, I guess. 4 people at our network that know what's coming tomorrow. At 11 o'clock, we are recording with Steve. At 12 o'clock, the announcement will come on while I'm recording with Steve and Jesse. But during the show, you're going to hear Steve's reaction. And this is one of the biggest guests we've ever had on SDPN. And it's big because of, I can't give you more than that. You're going to figure it out. I can't do it. But we're going to make an announcement tomorrow, and I'm so friggin' jacked for it. So watch the SDPN social channels at noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, because it is one of the biggest guests ever. If you've never listened to Agent Provocateur before, and thousands of people have, but if you haven't, this is going to be an episode you're going to want to check out. Somebody's like, no vague clue. No vague clues. No. Dolan Dark says, is it Brian Burke? We've already had Brian Burke. Brian Burke's been on. Who might it be? Bruce Springsteen is my guest. It's not Bruce Springsteen. It is not Bruce Springsteen. It's not that big. Bruce Springsteen, I don't even think does interviews unless you're like Apple Music and you're Zane Lowe. But I'm telling you, this is going to be big. So drop your guesses in the chat. I'd like to see if anybody got it. I don't think anybody has got it. You can even guess, is it Bill Guavin? It is not Bill Guavin, Dr. Candy Pants. That is a real name, Dr. Candy Pants. It is not Bill Guavin. Bill Guavin has already been on Agent Provocateur, and he was actually hilarious. Giggling Cat says, damn you, I work at 12 noon. Giggling Cat, you're going to have to sneak to the bathroom and open that phone up and find out. I'm telling you, it's going to be killer. Agent Provocateur, Alan Walsh and I, and we're putting out the video later, the podcast later, but if you've never seen it, whatever, it's amazing. Also, don't forget, this week's version of Agent Provocateur, this week's episode, has Marc-Andre Fleury on it. We like Marc-Andre Fleury. We love Marc-Andre Fleury, and he was great. That's the second time he's been on the show. Skatevid says Martin Firk. It is not Firk, although he is a noted Alan Walsh client. It's not Paul Marner. It's not Rob Hudson. It is not Darren Ferris, and it is not Lando Norris. Lando Norris would be cool. I remember when at one point we had Roman Grosjean on, and I think that was in like 21 or 22, and he just left F1 to go to IndyCar, and he did an interview for promoting IndyCar. And Steve had no idea who this was. And somebody, I think, left a comment, and they're like, LOL, Steve has no idea who this is, and he's legitimately the most famous person to ever be on this network. And Roman Grosjean is obviously a former F1 driver. So yeah, he is still, I think Roman Grosjean would be the most famous person we've ever had on this network. Hayden says, is he still driving Indy? I believe he is, but I think he might be out of contract this year. So I'm not sure if he's going to be back next year. But I believe he was in IndyCar this year. So I'm Doug Gilmore, William Nylander, Lewis Hamilton, Edge, Jake Paul, Tucker Carlson. No. I wish I could do a good Tucker Carlson. Hockey. I went to a game. And shit myself. Sorry. Tony Hawk. It is not Tony Hawk. It is not Chris Neal. Not Donald Trump. Is it Tony Hand? It is not Tony Hand. It is not Mitch Marner's security guard. No. Shawn Mendes. No, not Shawn Mendes. By the way, the Leafs and Habs are playing again. Play has started. Jays, runners on the corners, 1 out, top of the 7th. They were up 2-1 on these Yankees. Come on, baby. Alan Walsh interviewing Shawn Mendes would be great, Hayden says. And I think he's right. Is it Kyle Dubas? It's not Kyle Dubas. It'd be cool if it was. I don't know if Kyle would talk to me. I mean, listen, I haven't been that mean. I was been very critical of what's happened with the Penguins. I don't know. Listen, he's the general manager and the president. I can't keep saying it's not all his fault, but I do think Fenway Sports, before they sold the Penguins, was like, please try to make the playoffs so we can sell this team for maximum amount of money. That's what I think. But now they're actually truly rebuilding. Watch, they're going to get Gavin McKenna. He's going to live in Sidney Crosby's basement like Sidney Crosby lived in Mario Lemieux's basement. And the cycle will continue. And the Penguins will get their next generational superstar. Here comes the McMahon. Shot! Oh, over the glove of Montembeault, but a dangerous one. Leafs playing with a little bit more under their legs this period. Under their legs. I think they're having... What I mean is they're skating better. I don't know what I was trying to say. Here comes Kapanen, who already scored tonight, by the way. Need the Leafs to not lose this game the way they lost it last year. I don't know if you guys remember. Last year, I think Toronto had like 42 shots and Montreal had like 19. And, looks like the Leafs just took a penalty. What happened? Oh, is it an icing call? Okay. Yeah, anyway, Montembeault shut him down. 4-1 Jays. Yeah, baby! Listen, I'm kind of relieved to not be watching that game because, man, I was stressed and, man, I was angry last night. I was really sad and mad. But the Jays, baby, Nathan Lucas, driving people home. I don't even know who was on base, but friggin' yes, baby. Put the Yankees away, please. Put them away, please. I'm sick of this stuff. Let's go, Blue Jays. Crash test fetus, Paris Hilton. Pretty sure she was a hockey goalie. Was she? Oh. Some loudness in the arena. The Leafs have 10 straight home wins versus Montreal. Let's not break that streak. Let's extend it to 11. Oh, wow. Somebody broke their stick on Dakota Joshua. No penalty called, too. What a joke. Was that was it Doc? Who was that? Or Anderson? That's a friggin' joke right there. Broke his stick on the guy. Wow. All right, they're trying to goad the Leafs into a fight. I don't think I'd want to fight Dakota Joshua. I'm just saying. Vancouver Canucks fans in the chat, I think you know what I'm talking about. Leaf fans are just getting to know him. This guy's up. Oh, you know what it was? They showed the Blue Jays score on screen, too. Incredible. They're saying, let's go Blue Jays in the arena right now. How awesome is that? That's cool. I love that. 17:08 left in the third period. Oh, Lawrence. Here we go. Calle Yarncroke already has a goal tonight. Chips the puck in. End of the shift. 16:55 left. Let's go to the chat. Lot of guesses about who we're announcing on Agent Provocateur. Man, lot of misses. Paris Hilton has an elite prospects page? Are you serious? I'm going to have to look into that. That's more interesting than Tony Hand. Oh, Matthews is hurt. Smashed him on the knee. I hope it's not serious. But you're going to have to fight someone if you do that to Austin Matthews. Matthews is in a lot of pain on the Leafs bench. Oh, no. Please don't be hurt. Oh, I think he might have got it like a knee to the upper thigh. I can remember this. So sometimes when you're if you have never played hockey, you got your knee pad, shin pad, and then you got your hockey pants. And when your hockey pants slide up, your thighs are basically exposed. And I remember somebody caught me with a knee in my thigh, and it was so painful. And I remember I sat on the bench and I was like, it's hockey. You're not like, but I was like, my eyes were watering, not because I was crying, but because it was so painful. When you're like, this hurts so much that I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Anyway, a couple of days later, my entire right thigh turned purple. Oh, and we got a penalty on the Montreal Canadiens here. Oh, it hit the top of his knee. Okay. Block the shot, hit the top of his knees. Thank you, Hayden. And I remember the doctor said to me, like, hey, so this is a really, really bad bruise. So you're not going to play hockey for 10 days. And I was like, oh, all right then. I wasn't even allowed to be in gym class, but they still made me change into my gym clothes. Yeah, it was crazy. 2 men on top of the 7th for the Jays. Runners on first and second from what I'm seeing from Jesse's stream right now. Guys, this is getting close and serious. And listen, if you got to leave this stream, oh yeah, it was a puck right off the top. Oh, that sucks. If you gotta leave this stream and go hang out with Jesse, I get it. I completely get it. Go Jays, go. Demidov going to the box. That will not be good for my fantasy team. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've got Mr. Demidov. Hey, Leafs power play looked like crap the first time. And in fact, they gave up a shorthanded goal. That's how bad they looked. But it took them a few weeks last year to get it together too. And no Mitch Marner for the first time in 9 years. There's going to be an adjustment period. It's up to Morgan Riley to quarterback this thing the way he used to a few years ago. People forget, but Morgan Riley was the quarterback QB for a long, long time. City Magic 15, I really like the Jays. I really need the Jays to get this done tonight. I can't handle the stress. Man, playoff baseball is freaking relentless. There's no way out. There's no timer. There's nothing. It's just inning after inning of grind. Brutal, dude. It's crazy. Like the NHL at least is like there's a timer, right? You can play out the clock. Baseball, there's no playing out the clock. It's just as long as it is. And you can take one half inning and a team can score a bazillion runs and they're back in it. It's just it's a crazy game that way. And the playoff baseball is so special. Oh, here we go. Nylander. 48 seconds to go on the power play, by the way. Not much for the Leafs, but this is the first sort of setup, sustained zone pressure we've seen from them. Nye's in front of the net. Matthews behind it. He's out there. He's playing. That's a good sign for the Leafs. Flip the puck out. Tavares could not handle it on his backhand. Back to Matthews at the point. Matthews is going to over to Riley. Back to Matthews, I think, here. No, Riley holds. Back to Nylander at the top circle. Over to Matthews with a shot. It's not a quick pass and not the best shot. Just didn't line up properly. You could tell they're still sort of working on things. Power play looked better this time. At least there was no goal against. Robert Bet, what's wrong with Matthews? Looks hurt. Well, he did just take a puck off the knee, and it hurts. Robert Bet, they just want to see your legs. Yep. Sedin Magic 15, I got to run, but it was great to be back with you, bud. Good night, everyone. Sedin Magic 15, we will see you again soon. We will miss you. Hey, Hayden, we got to update that Blue Jays score bug, my friend. Still says 2-1, I think, doesn't it? Or am I wrong? Oh, it's updated. I'm wrong. So, oh, that's from the MLB API. Okay, fair enough. Well, tell them to get on it. I was just looking at an outdated feed of our stream. That's why. 12:16 left in the third period. We are going to the bottom of the seventh. 2.5 innings the Jays have to get through. 2.5 innings. If you want to look at it another way, it's 3 half innings. Bottom of the seventh, bottom of the eighth, bottom of the ninth. Let's get through them clean. I'm sure they're trying to figure out which pitcher to bring out. Maybe Trey Savage makes an appearance. I don't know. But I'm dying for them to just make this happen. Because beating the Yankees, can you friggin' imagine? Oh! Really good backhand by Slavkovsky there. Really, really good. Just missed the net. Here comes Lorentz driving, and he is crushed by the Montreal defense. Montreal, one thing that it's pretty clear that they were focused on this year is quick transitions. This is going to really benefit their game. Look at Lane Hudson. Oh, dangerous play, just missed the net. Oh, we got a broken stick. Matias Michelli to Matthew Nyes. We got a breakaway. Carrier doesn't have. Oh, and Montembeault shuts the door. Back to Morgan Riley, scores! Morgan Riley, a great goal. A great setup from Matthew Nyes. One broken stick from the Montreal defender. Another one loses their stick, and the Leafs are able to take advantage with 11 minutes left to go in the third period. Great play by Matthew Nyes to stick with this puck. Now, let's have a look at what Michelli is able to do with Matheson here. Just an unfortunate break. I mean, listen, Lane Hudson, they're showing right now, just missed scoring on the other end, and this is so hockey. Matheson has to drop his stick. Carrier drops his, tries to get the body positioning on Nyes. Montembeault shuts that down, but then Nyes sticks with it because he's a god amongst men. Look at this. Watch. Does not stop. Does not stop. That's a power forward the Leafs have not had in at least 10 years, maybe longer. We have not had a player like Matthew Nyes in a long, long time. And no disrespect to Morgan Riley. Great shot on that play. But we got to, man, we got to start having conversations about the fact that the Leafs missed a power forward for that long and you didn't even realize it, you know? You almost don't know what you have until you have it. Or don't know what you were missing until you have it. Michelli with a great play too. Nice pass. That's got to feel good to get your first assist in your first game on the first line with the Toronto Maple Leafs after being healthy scratched over 20 times last year in Utah. By the way, Jesse is streaming the Blue Jays game right now, so if you want to get in on a stressful chat, that's the way to go. I am normally I'll stay a little bit later after a stream or whatever, but I obviously when this stream wraps up and this game wraps up, I want you all to go over to Jesse's stream. I love that you're here. We're having a great time. Having a great time together. And we will have many great times. But this Blue Jays game is pretty darn special, and I think Jesse would appreciate you showing up for that too. By the way, Wes Richard, thank you for dropping 5 SDPN memberships. So good for Morgan Riley, by the way, to get that goal. That has to feel really good for him. Like I told you, we need like 10 goals out of that guy. He's already got 1. Woo! Giggling Cat, 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Giggling Cat. We're all giggling because we're up 3-2 in Toronto against Montreal. And in New York, we're up 4-1. Come on, baby. Wrap this thing up. I didn't know what to call it. Wrap it up. Like they tell you in gym health class. Wrap it up. Let's go. 9:43 left in the third period. Here's Oliver Kapanen. Scored on a shorthanded goal. Tavares tries to strip it. Mike Matheson, whose stick broke. Oh, what a play Leafs, Demidov almost had one there. That was a really, really good play, Matheson to Demidov. Demidov has looked dangerous tonight. Hudson's looked dangerous tonight. If you're a Canadiens fan, doesn't matter how this game ends, you're going to be pumped for this season, baby. Morgan Riley looking really good. Over to Carlo. He's got an open shot at the net. Can't Carell shoots anyway. Good save by Montembeault. Bobby McMahon can't get that rebound. It's cleared by the Habs. Over the head of Carlo and back into the Leaf zone. Not far enough to be an icing. 9:02 left. Morgan Riley, Carlo out there. Dakota Joshua, Max Domi, and the new look third line and featuring Nicholas Robertson who's out there. Oh, Robertson in front of the net. Oh, he got a happy bounce. And man, Montembeault's able to get that pad down and keep it 3-2. That would have been a dagger, and you know Nick Robertson wanted that. He called himself a day-to-day player with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's got to earn every shift, and how does he earn his shifts? No defensive lapses, score goals. He's been really good on the defensive side today, close to scoring a goal. I'd like to see that shot a little bit more. Leafs pressuring. Lorentz, Waugh out there. Have really liked what I've seen from Nicholas Waugh tonight. Calle Yarncroke obviously scored a goal, but Nicholas Waugh, man, again, it's the little things. It's the body positioning. He's tall, he's rangy, he's heavy, and watch. He's breaking the puck out. Safe play. He's going to get that puck in over against 3 Canadiens. Oh, Yarncroke with a move. Oh, and a nice, baby, that just missed the net. Great play by Waugh. Even an amazing little deke by Yarncroke. How about this fourth line? Lorentz behind the net. Waugh holding Montreal player all over him. Cycling. This is what you need. Matthews with the puck beside the net. Lorentz is out there with Matthews. McCabe and Tanev are now on the ice for Carlo and Riley. There's Matthias Michelli, already notched his first assist on that Morgan Riley goal 3 minutes ago. Michelli on the back check there is able to pull that puck off of Bolduc. 7:09 left in the third period. We're just needing our Toronto teams to play this out, baby. Play this out. We got 7 minutes left in this Leafs game. We got 3 half innings of Yankee batters up to go. We just need to go through that order one more time. Get this thing done, Blue Jays. Get this thing done, Maple Leafs. Let's have a big old-fashioned party in Toronto tonight, huh? With respect to the Montreal Canadiens fans in the chat, you know we love you as well. You guys have always been super nice. I know it is mostly Leaf fans, but there are a lot of Habs fans that watch SDPN, and it's not because I don't love you. It's just that I don't love your team when they're playing my team. And I'm frustrated with how well built they are. I don't like it, okay? But I'm not supposed to. Oh, Robertson just did the thing I said that's not going to keep him in the lineup, which is give the puck away at his own blue line. But otherwise, he's had a good game. But this has led directly to Habs pressure, which we don't like right now. 6 minutes left in this game. Demidov, who has looked very dangerous tonight, dekes around Robertson. Now this third line is tired. You can tell the legs are burning. Robertson especially is exhausted. They do have a half change. Bobby McMahon is out there. Joshua and Robertson. Oh, no, that's not that's not Dakota Joshua. That's John Tavares. Very different. Very, very different. Carlo behind the net. Back to Morgan Riley. Nylander, Tavares, McMahon out there. Or is that Nicholas Waugh? Riley. Yeah, that's Waugh out there with Lorentz. I think they're trying to change now. Kind of a halfway shift for the Tavares line there. McMahon got out there a little too early, and then they got hemmed in. So they got the fourth line out there. The fourth line has looked good tonight, but that puck was stripped off Nicholas Waugh. And here comes other fourth liner, Josh Anderson. It's a pretty strong fourth line for the Habs. Evans, Anderson, and Laine. It's like 15, 16 million bucks back there. That's called depth, baby. 4:44 left in the third period. I just wanted to say 4:44. I don't know why, it just felt good. McCabe and Tanev out there. It's the Matthews, Michelli, and Nyes line. Nyes, Michelli, and Wylde hooked up on the goal that broke the tie. And here comes Nyes on Mikey Matheson again. Couldn't get past him, but he had an edge on him, just could not get past him. McCabe dumps it in. Leafs are changing. McMahon line out there with Tavares and Nylander, and that's more like it. They got all the guys out there at the same time. I don't know if the Domi Robertson Joshua line sees another shift tonight. And it's not because they're not good. It's just because that is not their oh no. Hey, look at that, Berube putting them back out there. Okay. Good. I'm glad. That means Craig's showing his people some faith. I like that. The Leafs, the Leafs had just tweeted. Actually, they tweeted this an hour ago that they're also watching the Jays game, which is hilarious. You know what? It's so nice. I know some people have been complaining about the Toronto Maple Leafs social media being a little cringe. Can I be honest with you, dude? You know what was cringe for me? When it was a robot for the last decade. Here's the score. We are the Leafs. We won this game. We lost that game. Good game. This is the final score. Those are the only tweets that they were allowed to do. Now, we got a little spice and a lot of personality, and I like that. I'm into that. It's beautiful. Just be fun, man. It's not that hard. Be fun. Just have some fun. All right. Let's have a look at the chat here. Philip Schwartz says, don't count out New York. The Detroit Tigers looked like they were done earlier today, but they came roaring back. Philip, nobody's counting out the Yankees. Nobody. We would not be that stupid. Although there were some people yesterday who were that stupid. Do not do that. Do not do that. Your job is to lock the F in. Lock in. Win the game. Go to the next round. Lock in, win the game. Go Jays. Go Leafs. Let's go. That's your job. We don't take anyone lightly. These are the playoffs. Okay? None of that. None of that crap. $3:59 left. So Cal Yarncroke, Matthew Nyes, and Austin Matthews. That's an interesting combo. Cal Yarncroke got a goal, so he gets a shift with the first line. And listen, Michelli set up another thing. I wonder what he's doing. I guess you're looking for defensive stops here. Matthews is, Habs fans always laugh at this, and I don't know why. Matthews is one of the better defensive centers in the entire league. And Yarncroke is a good defensive winger, and Michelli is more offensive. So I guess that makes sense. So once this stream ends, for me, it will automatically redirect to Jesse's stream. So it is 2 outs, bottom of the 7th right now. Jay's up 4-1 on the Yankees. 2 runners on first and second base. We just need one more out, baby. One more. People are calling for you Savage to come out because obviously the Jays are, you want to close it out, right? I hope the Jays do the right thing. I don't know what the right thing is. I just hope they do it. Domi out there with Nyes and Matthews. That is supposed to be Domi's line, but he's centering his own line with Robertson. So Craig Berube doing a little bit of the line blender thing. Just trying things out. If you're going to try stuff out, now's the time. Get a little offensive pop. Matthews or Domi with a shot. Hey, Max Domi shot at least 3 times tonight. That's rare, and that's good. Means they're listening. Okay. Apparently, it's a pivotal at bat for the Blue Jays right now. I can't see what's going on. I don't know who's up, but people are saying it in the chat, so I'm just trusting them. 3:07 left in this Leafs game. Robert Bet, I may be wrong here, but Nyes kind of reminds me of Ken Baumgartner. Yes, we love the bomber. Oh, here we go. Tavares wins a clean face-off. Leafs kick it in. Benoit deep to McMahon. McMahon using his speed tries to shake off Caden Gooley. He's got him pinned against the wall. You know what? Ideally, you want to be out against the young Habs defense in a situation like this. Not that they're not good players, but you want to try to use their lack of experience against them. You don't want them getting in the offensive zone and the Habs ice the puck. Pew. And it looks like the Jays got out of trouble. 6 outs to go. 6 outs on the Yankee side to go before the Blue Jays can move on. So now the question will be who comes out for the Jays in the 8th inning. That was big. That was big. A lot of people saying bend but not breaking. I'm just trying to keep this going here. Obviously, Giggling Cat, you have depth finally. You get to play and shake up the lines. This is how we got Marshy and his emotional support Finns last year. Giggling Cat, by the way, is a Cats fan. Cat the Cats fan, as we like to call her. Florida Panthers fan. Let me just say this. Cat's been having a good time. The last 3 years have been good to Cat. We all would hope one day that we get a 3-year run the way Cat has. And by the way, the Panthers are probably going to be pretty good this year. Oh my God, I have like 12 missed text messages, and they're all from my family who are very excited about what's happening in the Blue Jays game. 2 minutes to go in the third period for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And just a reminder, I am not going to stick around after the stream. Normally I would. We'll hang out, talk a little bit, that sort of thing. But I want you guys to get in there and watch Jesse and watch the Jays. Montreal has pulled the goalie. By the way, I want to say thank you all for being here. I do want to tell you that it's been a few months. I think May was the last time we did one. So that's May, June, July, August, September. So like 4 or 5 months since we've done one of these, at least with me. And I've missed it. And I miss you. And that's real. And I'm serious. And so it's so nice to have you guys back. I'm so excited to hang out this year. It's so great to be working with my guy Hayden. So great to be working with my guy Justin. And I mean, we work together all the time, but it's nice to be working a live show together. We're just like, we are so friggin' back. Like, oh, Austin Matthews. Oh, we got an open net. Austin Matthews right before it. Chris Ford. And Austin Matthews' first goal of the season is an empty netter. Doesn't get much easier than that, although he did have to skate for it. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win if they can hold on for 90 more seconds. The Toronto Maple Leafs could take game 1 of the season. And I see some Montreal Canadiens fans leaving in the crowd. Matthews goes over to give Stollers a nice tap. And it looks like the puck was just feathered down there, I think, by William Nylander. Wow. Matthews just outworked Patrick Laine. And by the way, how perfect is that? Matthews was picked first. Laine second. So I would say Matthews better. Matthews friggin' wanted that. Laine, not sure he so wanted that. Laine on defenses leaves a lot to be desired. By the way, big shout out to 23 Plaster. If you could choose to win Jays or Leafs, Jays. But the Leafs are going to win, and the Jays are going to do it too, damn it. A Giggling Cat dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, Cat. Kendra, 5 SDPN memberships. Kendra, thank you so much. With the Dangle Navy crest right next to her name. Just excellent. Excellent stuff. Man, they're replaying that Nyes to Riley goal. Dude, that is all Matthew Nyes. I know, and it's great for Riley to start that way. But Matthew Nyes is just like, I am not giving up on this play. I flippin' love that player. He's the best. Oh, Suzuki had a nice sneaky little backhand on Stollers. By the way, the empty net is still empty. Can the Leafs score another goal here? Do the Habs score one? Make it interesting. There's still 60 seconds left. It ain't over, especially in Toronto. We have scars. We have so many scars. 50 seconds to go. By the way, the Jays have a runner on second base. That's a runner in scoring position, 0 outs. Slavkovsky, 37 seconds left to go. Here comes Suzuki. Puck is broken up a little bit there by Benoit. 29 seconds left to go in the game. Barely any people left in the crowd. I always stick around to the end. I figured, listen, I paid for this ticket. I'm watching every second of this 60 minutes. Oh, Lorentz intercepts Nylander. Carrier Falls, or no, Hudson Falls, and Nylander gets his first goal. Oh my God. So that's goals from Willie, and that's goals from Matthews and Yarncroke and Riley. Dude, that's about as good a first game as you could ask for, stats-wise. Hell yeah. Now listen, are they empty net goals? Yeah. Do they count? Yeah. Who cares how they come? They came. They happened. Let's go. The Jays now have a runner at third base, 1 out. By the way, I don't know why I'm yelling at you. Wes Richard dropping 10 SCBN memberships. Worse. Giggling Cat dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Cat the Cats fan. Thank you, Cat. 5-2 for the good guys, says SDPN in the chat. Agreed. Let's go. Good start to the season by your Toronto Maple Leafs. We got big goals. We got big goals. I'm sure it's great for Yarncroke to get a goal. I'm sure it's awesome for Riley to get a massive goal. That's the game-winning goal for Morgan Riley after the season he had last year, the summer he put in. Unbelievable. Matthias Michelli gets his first assist. Matthew Nyes gets his first assist. Austin Matthews gets his first goal. It is 5-2, and it looks like the Toronto Blue Jays have just scored. Oh, what a way to leave it. It is 5-1 Blue Jays. And only 1 out in the top of the 8th. Let's friggin' go, Toronto. Let's go. Okay, so guys, the Leafs are going to salute the crowd. Listen, thank you for being here. This was so much fun. Oh my God, I missed this. Let's just have the most amazing season together. We got the Leafs all season. We got the Olympics, the playoffs in April. Let's go. All right, Hayden, end this stream and direct everybody over to Jesse. Everybody go watch Jesse, support his stream. He's kicking ass. He put in a marathon last night. I love you guys. I will see you on this live stream next week. And don't forget, Agent Provocateur announcement tomorrow in the SDP and on SDPN social channels at 12 noon. I love you. Goodbye. Let's go, Blue Jays.